Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ETN, the most European podcast in the world. We are live again. It is Tuesday, 24th of March. It is 4 minutes past 11. Apologies for the slight 4-minute delay. We were preparing a few things.
We were just cat-maxing. That's all we do. You'll notice that we have new stream graphics that I've only just seen. They look pretty nice.
Should we just take a second to admire the new stream graphics? We'll do a post about this as well. We'd love to shout out the team that helps us out with this, but we want to make sure it's a little bit more official. So you will see a post come out from the team over here at ETN later today to talk about these lovely graphics you see in front of you. Also our
the team being us two.
The team being us too. Also our lovely little sponsor square on the bottom right.
Look at that. Looking good.
Look at that for a bit of premium ad space. Looks real nice.
The real estate is going well. It looks good.
What are we talking about today? A few things have happened since last Thursday.
We had a massive weekend of news.
My weekend was pretty boring, but news-wise, yes.
Massive. News-wise, we have lots to cover, which is cool.
Massive docket. Before we get into that, let me tell you about our friends over there at Airwallex. Leave outdated business behind with Airwallex, the all-in-one financial platform built for the pace of modern business. Multi-currency accounts, corporate cards, expense management, online payments. All in one platform. Go to airwallex.com.
It's quite funny. You can see the Airwallex card just like popping out.
The Airwallex card is sneaking out of the pit there. For those who are watching this watching the video, you can
give
see
it a little push.
The Airwallex
don't do that.
McLaren is trying to peek out, trying to get out the pit.
Looks good actually. It looks cool. I like the
nice.
orange. The orange is my favorite color. It looks good.
Orange your favorite color?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Guys, I mean, you can see from how many brands do we have here? We have 10, 11 brands.
Yeah. And we got a few more up there.
They're all like, Nominal's kind of standing out. Obviously, Polymarket's standing out there, looking like in the white and the blue. Get some orange in your life, guys. Like, sort your lives out. With maybe Wineify down here should be getting some orange in their lives.
Well, let's not miss out. We've got Mana here as well. Iced tea beverage.
Mana and orange
dangerously
would be quite
refreshing.
Good.
Maybe they could hook up a nice orange one. And obviously our amazing friends over there at Framer. We could maybe just quickly talk about the New Yorker article.
Yeah,
this is just straight off the dome, but it was really great news for us. The Framer team alerted us. I hadn't actually seen it. It was obviously paywalled as well, but the Framer team had dropped us a note saying after Cohen, their CEO and founder, had come on the show. This was literally the first interview we had with them after they sponsored the show. The interview with Cohen was picked up by the New Yorker on a piece around AI and taste and that sort of new debate that's going around. But we just thought it was a really cool moment.
I feel like every other week there's a new piece about taste and AI.
Yeah, it's super hot topic right now.
Yeah, but storytelling, build the brand behind whatever.
Yeah. It seems to be
they love it.
Seems to be quite hot, and we would chuff because the team at Framer have done a phenomenal job turning around everything so quickly. Shout out to James and Emily. Like that had gone from literally first call to CEO's interviews clipped up, ready to go, posted in 4 days, 5 days.
Yeah.
Just the speed that those guys move at is insane.
Let me tell you about Framer though. Build better sites faster.
yeah.
The all-in-one platform where enterprise teams build, design, and ship production-ready websites. No dev handoff, no bottlenecks, no creative compromises. Go to framer.com/ETN.
Absolutely, love to see it.
Should we dive into some the order of play? Let's go through some stuff that all of the guests that we have on today.
Let's do it.
Because we have so much news, we only have 5 guests on, which is a shocker. But they're all big and they're all doing some insane stuff.
Yeah.
So first on the docket, we've got Mirko Novakic, CEO at Dash Zero.
They just raised a big round. It's Europe's newest unicorn.
Europe's newest unicorn. There we go.
You love to see that.
They
This is
announced it
yesterday,
which is very cool.
Very sick. Mirko's going to be joining us today. I think he's opening the show, actually, now I think about it. Yeah, 12 p.m, tuning in live. Going to talk about the raise, going to talk about what they're doing, going to talk about what their future plans are, how they're going to be deploying the cash. But super lucky to have Mirko join us, especially considering how busy they're going to be. Stuff. Which is going to be fun. Going to talk about, you being Europe's newest unicorn, which is awesome. Following that, next guest after Mirko, we've got Robert over at Laminar. Robert I think YC YC24 maybe. Open source observability for AI agents. Basically, they announced a 3 million seed earlier this month, which was led by Atlantic VC, YC, AAL, and some angels. So we're going to dig into his platform,
company,
what they're doing.
Very, very smart dude as well.
Yeah, his background was actually incredibly interesting as well. I think Palantir and Bloomberg.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice lineup. Following that, we've got Charlie Cheeseman.
And Fergus as well. Fergus is going to come on.
And Fergus coming on, joining. We've got a duo pair, the co-founders at 60X. If I'm right in thinking, Charlie was the bloke who sold his company.
So he's the founder of he sold his company in 20 hours, which we're going to kind of have to ask about. But obviously most of the interview will be about 60X. But yeah, he sold his company in 20 hours.
It's nuts.
Alongside Mr. David Gelberg, friend of the show. So they're going to join us. It's going to be a good chat. I'm excited. They're just nice blokes as well. Been speaking to Charlie for a while, and he's a super nice guy.
Awesome stuff.
Which is nice. Then we have big dog, Michele Catasta, president and head of AI at Replit, is coming on the show at 1:45 GMT.
He's going to be doing the European style for Replit, bringing them over this side of the pond.
They're coming over. They're expanding. They have just launched their Agent 4. That was like last week.
Yeah.
They did 400 mil at $9 billion valuation pretty recently. So yeah, it's going to be good to talk to Michele.
Like what is the new evolution of vibe coding, and that is essentially what they've kind of structured Agent 4 around.
Yeah.
And I remember we covered some of the demos and some of the launch videos they did, and it just looked like it wasn't like we've improved the product. It was more like this is
like fundamental shift of the way people build product. Yeah,
absolutely. Which is awesome. And then just to round up for the day, we've got Ben Serra, founder at Polsia. This guy's been on an absolute tear recently. When we bucked Ben in, which was I think literally just the end of last week, they were at like a 5.5 mil ARR run rate. Now they're at a 6 mil run rate. This is a one-man team. This is just Ben, and I think it's been less than maybe a month and a half, 2 months. I don't know what the specific timing is, but
I can't remember when he actually launched, but it's been like, I think I wrote it down, but they've just hit 6 mil ARR.
Yeah.
He crossed 1 million ARR with over 1,000 companies after a month after launch. Then a month later, tripled the ARR to 3 million with 3,000 companies on the platform. And they've only just crossed 6 million ARR.
Speed running.
So he's
like $1 billion company, basically.
Yeah. So we're going to ask him a bunch of stuff. When is, the $1 billion solo founder going to come? Is it going to be Ben? Who knows? Could be. I've used Polsia. Polsia is now running a bunch of stuff with ETN, and it's bonkers how it's nuts.
Yeah, some good knowledge in there. Talking about knowledge, let me tell you about Polymarket, the world's largest prediction market. Stay informed and profit from your knowledge. Go to polymarket.com to do that. Let's get into the news. So what is on the docket today?
Big weekend for the tech bros this weekend.
We got Sifted, Europe's tech bro renaissance. I was described in the article with a quote that was taken out of context, so had no right being in that article. But we love a good story. We always say here at ETN, we are fans of drama. We are fans of a good story, and that's what I think we've seen here with Sifted's new piece. It's a great story. So I'm going to pull this one up. We won't get too much into this, but I want to go to. It would just be great to just cover the part where they mention my feature in this for some reason. So for those who have actually looked at this article, it's been doing the rounds recently from a journalist called Freya Petty, I think. I, for some reason, am quoted in this article. So just to intro what it says, new media brands covering the industry both reflect and spur its homogeneity, reinforcing the idea that success looks and talks a certain way. Baseball caps are in, diversity is out. So they get that quote in, and then Ronan Chambers, one of the founders and presenters of the tech show ETN, and a frequent cap wearer. I don't know what that, it's like.
Well,
if
you
describe
right now.
Luke Knight, wearer of clothes, Bloody hope so. He's got some garms on if he's getting out of the house, don't you? Like, I don't understand what it means, but I love that they've put it in after baseball caps are in, diversity out. Ronan Chambers, a frequent cap wearer. Like, get him on. What are these sly digs we're trying to take? Then Told Basis Points podcast last week, which is a podcast I did with the brilliant Harriet. We had a great conversation. She was amazing, and just covered like holistically ETN, new media, how is it impacting the ecosystem. Really enjoyed chatting with her. And the quote is taken from a conversation that I'm having with Harriet about can traditional media houses and traditional journalists run a live tech show. And the example I gave was like the Information released TITV, but it wasn't received as well as, you know, other shows that exist in the ecosystem because it's not done by an insider. Like the person who's running the TITV show is a journalist. They haven't been an operator, they haven't been a founder, they haven't like scaled anything, even like a venture partner. And I was saying like, oh no, I said like, they wouldn't be able to do that because it's very, very easy to identify someone who's not on the inside. So Freya from Sifted has seen this podcast that I've done, completely ignored all the previous context from the conversation, sliced up this particular quote here because it supports her personal agenda that I think speaks throughout this piece, and then has used it to include me for said article, obviously trying to play the point where I'm referring to the fact that it's an insiders club here at ETN, which... One, thanks for the coverage. Thank you for the traffic to ETN.
All publicity is good publicity, right?
Absolutely.
It's fun times.
So look, frequent cap wearer, I'm hardly ever, sporting a cap. I don't know why that would be included there. Very rarely wearing caps.
We're going to get to clip this up. This is good. I like this.
These just happened to, these were just lying around today.
Yeah, they just fell on my head.
Yeah, These aren't relevant, but yes.
Anyway, great coverage from Sifted as usual.
Awesome piece.
Yeah, very fun. I don't think we've got any more Sifted stuff to come out of the show anymore. But yeah. Anyway, moving on. As of I think it was yesterday, Huel has been acquired. Or actually, no, I think they're in talks.
Well, it's like yes, they're getting acquired.
Yeah,
like,
fine.
We're all cool with it.
This is happening, news is out, type of thing.
Yeah,
just
let's make a bit
standard stuff needs to happen.
Let's make a bit
so Danone has bought Huel for a €1 billion deal. Massive story. Let's jump into the FT article. We can start reading this out. So French consumer goods group Danone has agreed to acquire Huel, the UK producer of milkshake-style meal replacements. Sounds absolutely grim sentence. For about €1 billion. Milkshake-style meal replacements.
Yeah, I saw someone comment on this
for about €1 billion as it pushes deeper into the fast-growing market for fortified food and drinks. The deal marks the latest effort by Danone, which produces Activia yogurt and Evian water to capitalize on the trend for so-called functional nutrition, including supplements and drinks with added vitamins. The two companies said on Monday that Huel's complete food powers, snack bars and drinks met growing demand for users of GLP-1 weight loss drugs and increasingly health-conscious consumers. Huel, a portmanteau of human and fuel, started in 2015 as a direct-to-consumer business before striking agreements to sell its chocolate, banana and vanilla-flavoured drinks in the UK supermarkets as part of their lunch meal deals.
Have you ever had a Huel?
Never had a Huel.
You've never tried it?
Never had a Huel.
To be fair, it's actually not that bad. It's actually quite nice. I've had a couple Huels in my time. I know people that are like full-blown Huel mode where, who was it? It was some founder we spoke to ages ago who said like, my whole fridge is just Huel. Like I don't eat meals anymore, which obviously isn't good for you. I'm assuming that your body is needs some. I mean, look,
I can't really comment too much on Huel because I haven't really looked at what's in the actual milkshake drink.
It tastes good. It tastes great. I don't like the.
But like what I'm thinking is like full meal tastes good. There's got to be what are they putting in that?
Yeah. It's not that easy.
You
can't just, that's too good.
If it was that easy, everyone would just be injecting, meals into their veins, so they didn't have to sit there and eat.
But I quite like eating. I feel like maybe we sometimes, not in a way, I just obviously, it's good to eat, but like
we're gonna get done now for saying that we don't have enough time to eat.
I know I enjoy like making a meal. Yeah. I enjoy like making a hard meal.
Cooking is a wonderful process. You can do it with loved ones. It's relaxing. I use it as a
therapeutic. Maybe
don't put podcasts on, music or anything. Or music can be.
You really lock it, don't you?
But you just you actually like shut off. Like my phone's out
You're
in the
like
other room.
Blinds down, phone's in a safe.
Well, because it's the only time of the day where like I'm actually not kind of plugged into what's going on.
Yeah, I think like
so that's quite nice.
Post meal making sat down is like a great part of the day. Because it's like finally I can just be like, I'm eating.
But whenever we have finished work and we're like, we've still got more work to do in the evening, it's a case of, hey man, just going to eat.
Yeah.
Which means I know, and you'll know that, the next half an hour, 40 minutes is, no bueno, we're not going to chat.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely, which is good.
Yeah,
right?
It's like, hey man, I'm going to go eat. I'm not replying.
Yeah.
But if you call, to be fair, if there's a call, then I'll, then it's
fine.
answer the phone.
That's fine.
And eat your dish. My dish recently has been,
but if it was a Huel, that's the thing. If it was a Huel, it would be a, hey man,
on the go.
Hey man, just gotta go and eat.
Just chug
30 seconds, bang, you're back in.
Hey man, just knocking back a quick Huel, back in the sec. Hey, I'm already back.
Yeah.
Hey man,
and I'd be like, yo, dude, I need to go and eat. Be like, no, you're staying at your desk.
Maybe we should reach out to Huel. We can't anymore. We have to reach out to
Danon. Anyway, this was a super interesting deal. Reason being is because of how it's been valued, right? So someone came on X the other day, or like after the news was announced. So on the X news, obviously, Danon, 27 billion euro company behind Activia yogurts and Evian water, agreed on Monday to acquire UK-based Huel. Huel, founded in 2015 by Julian Hearn, reported £214 million in 2024 revenues, which is up 16%, which I think is bonkers. £214 million. Did not realize they were that big. They turned a profit with strong margins after earlier losses. I think they were losing money until about 2022 or 23. And then they turned a profit, and their profit margins are now at 56%, which is really, really good for a food company, but we'll get onto that later. CEO Antoine Dussault Afrique praised Huel's fit with trends in functional foods. Hearn is about to gain £400 million with the deal. But obviously, needs to actually like properly close, which is cool. But anyway, someone, who was it? Drew Fallon. So Drew Fallon, let me get the tweet up. I will put it under here. If you get that up.
Yeah, just give me a sec. Just sorting.
Oh no, we got some technical issues.
Yeah, just a quick one on the stream deck, but we're all good.
Oh dear. Anyway, I've put the link in there. So Drew Fallon, he's been reporting on Huel, I assume via X and other mediums for a few years now. He said, the 10-figure acquisition comes less than 3 years after Huel raised $100 million from Morgan Stanley's Climate Fund in 2023. Huel is based in the UK and has been, and I've been covering and reporting on their financials for years now. 2025 sales reportedly hit £250 million, which is up 17%, pricing the deal at 4.6x revenue. The 4.6x revenue is interesting for a few reasons, because for reason, kind of like the over-answering reason, is it's a VMS multiple, not a food multiple. So, on standard kind of multiples that you would pay for a food and beverage company, because of the margins, because it's in the category of food, not growing hugely, not super exciting. Food's obviously been around for donkey's years, not a new, this isn't a nascent market here. This is food.
Food 2. Food 1's boring.
Exactly.
Where's the sequel?
Well, Huel, apparently. So food, in the food industry, companies typically trade at 1 to 2x multiples, right? Huel is at a 4.6x. super interesting because it's trading at a VMS. VMS is like vitamins, minerals, and supplements. So it's kind of straddling this, like, it is food because it's replacing food, because supplements aren't this, you know, they're not, their job isn't to solely replace food, right?
It's Ozempic maybe.
Yeah.
It's not replacing it with something. No, that
But
obviously doesn't work.
Well, I mean, it is. Like if I'm,
No, Ozempic,
oh, hey man, I'm going to, oh yeah, Ozempic.
yeah.
No, I mean,
Huel
Huel.
absolutely is,
Yeah. Instead of dinner, I'm having a Huel because it's replacing, but it's trading at a kind of a multiple that a vitamins company, a supplements company, a minerals company, whatever, would trade at. Reason being is because they're in this kind of like healthy market.
Yeah.
You know, there's huge tailwinds within that market, which is super, you know, they're so strong.
Yeah.
Everyone's wanting to get healthier.
Lux Max as well. Lux Max is a thing
Exactly.
now. I mean, Clavicular's probably done huge work for Huel's sales.
Yeah.
Spreading the
Same
gospel
as
of
like
Lux
Hardest
Max.
Geezer. I think he's sponsored by Huel. You know, the guy that ran Length of Africa.
Oh, that's a good pairing. That.
Yeah, great pairing.
How's he getting on?
Yeah,
Is he not doing another?
He'll do another challenge, I assume.
I think he
Powered by Huel or
is.
Danone now.
Yeah, powered by Danone doesn't really have a good ring to it, does it?
He'll still be powered by Huel. But anyway,
I think he did something.
He did. He
Another
did the
thing
length
after
of
the Africa.
He did the length of New Zealand.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. Anyway, good on him. Powered by Huel. So it's in this market, but it's also, you know, the recurring business model. You're going to buy. It's like a supplement, right? You're going to buy more and more. And they have this kind of recurring model. I assume there's a subscription. I don't know.
Yeah,
is there a subscription?
Yeah.
So that's super interesting. So all of these kind of things, and they're operating at this like huge multiple of 59%, which is a really good like gross margin to be operating at. It's like
And they taste nice.
What a supplement would be normally iterating at. So all of this stuff has all added up into this like beautiful business that's like replacing food, not necessarily in the food category, and founder's going to make 400 million just purely because
his cash out was super. Do you know how much he owned?
No idea.
I think someone said he's going to take like 400 mil off from this.
Well, 40% if he's being acquired by 400 mil pounds. So whatever that is in euros, he owns a lot of it. He'll own over 50%.
Yeah, that's an insane. I wonder what they like previous raises and stuff. We'd have to check it out.
Yeah, we'd have to check it out.
But
it's just this like perfect story of, you know, middle ground of being between food and supplements, the recurring model, the tailwinds from the market, all of those things wrapped up has just created like an incredible business for Danone to just kind of like snap up, and for the founders of Huel and investors of Huel to get an incredibly good price for what they've got.
Because I imagine like a couple years back.
So clever.
Like maybe they were like a little bit, because I think this was like quite hyped initially when it first was a thing, and then it kind of died down because everyone was like, screw that. But maybe like adding a product and quality.
Huel in general?
Yeah. Or like just that like substitute thing. It was like, oh no, this isn't help, because there was like this whole a lot more healthy.
I'm still in the camp of, are they actually healthy?
But I think you're healthier than most people.
True.
Like I think you're quite a healthy person, whereas like I'm.
You eat breakfast at dinner.
I do sometimes have dinner,
but then again, that's just because you're locked in.
Breakfast for dinner. That's not on purpose.
All the signs are point. Yeah.
But like, I remember thinking the other day, I'm just like, yeah, cool. I'll sort that in a sec. Just gonna go grab breakfast, and it was like 4 p.m. Which I'm not saying like grind set, let's go type of thing. Like that was just like a kind of one-off.
You're not helping yourself.
But I know I'm not. I'm kind of
that plus all of the caps is just really
Wait, what? My caps. Just got this up really quickly. Huel raised 59 million from bench funding prior to the acquisition. I think maybe over a number of rounds, but it just says prior to the acquisition.
They've raised They did $100 million deal with So Huel have raised $100 million from Morgan Stanley in 23.
2023?
Yeah, they've raised more than that. Yeah.
Hey, what?
So I don't know where you're getting. I don't know who they're backed by, but yeah.
All right, so venture. Oh.
You're being what are you reading right now?
2018. Oh yeah, sorry, slightly more. Yeah, 2018 Series A, 26 million. 2022, 24 million. Wow, 24 million out of 560 million valuation in 2022. That's insane.
Yeah, that's bonkers.
That's an absolutely insane. This was the famous celebrity round featuring Idris Elba, Stephen Bartlett, and Grace Beverley.
Of course. Yeah, they have all of those guys on the cap table.
That's smart.
That's
really
smart.
cool.
That's very smart. Well, because they won the consumer. I don't know how big they are in the US. I don't know if they're in the US.
Yeah, I don't know.
But they definitely they were huge in the UK.
Yeah,
or they
I
still
remember.
are.
Well, yeah, I kind of associated it. Like they copped onto like the health and the gym and like the high rocks type of crowd
Yeah.
super well.
Perfect timing.
Wow, that's an insane rate. 24 million at a 506 million valuation.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So congrats to everyone who was part of the deal. Another little point from Drew Fallon. He said, my biggest take is that the wave for supplements seems to be picking up. I know this could be considered more of a food. Disagree, it's VMS. But in my mind, it's VMS. And last week, L Catterton announced it was considering selling Thorn for $4 billion. That's $2 billion. That's a $2 billion supplement transaction in less than a week. So all of these supplement transactions going on, pick up of the supplement M&A activity right now.
Time to cash in.
You're going to see another one. What do you think the next supplement company are going to sell? David, protein bars?
Yeah, I think they got done though recently for not having the amount of protein they said they had in there. I really like their branding though. They have really nice branding. Like they did a fish.
Great branding, but bar doesn't work.
A fish thing. Did you see they were like sending fish to people that you could buy like.
I did see that. I think actually.
I can't remember like how it went. I think it was more like a marketing stunt, but they actually were.
I saw it briefly.
Yeah. But yeah, I think someone. I can't remember who it was, but there was comments around like there's not actually the amount of protein in the bars that they're saying there is.
I think that's a lot like.
Which happens loads. Do you remember those like creatine
supplement industry
gummies? I think it was.
Yeah.
And someone got done. They were like huge brand. I think they're like a market leader in like this like D2C space.
Yeah, I know.
They got. Oh really?
They're doing really well now.
But they got done, didn't they?
So founder was, I think it was like maybe like 20, 21.
Yeah, super young.
When he got, I think he was like 19 when he started it. He was
God,
this
he
company called,
made so much
maybe I won't mention the company, but essentially they had creatine gummies. You were meant to take 3 a day, and it was easier than just having, standard powder. It wasn't very nice, whatever. Huge craze in the UK. Not too sure. I imagine it's come from the US. I don't know who the US players are, but this company specifically is very, very big in the UK, and their production ramped up so much that they had to move their manufacturer from Europe to China. In that process, I assume they kind of lost visibility on actually how much creatine was being put into them. So I imagine that they were told, you've got this. I don't think it was a hey,
they
we're not
addressed
putting
it really
creatine
well.
in.
I remember seeing the founder came out straight away.
Well, so they basically they ripped everything off the shelves. They made sure it didn't sell anymore, and they gave refunds and whatever.
Yeah.
Then it was let's stop production. Let's sort out our R&D, let's sort out our productions and our production, all of that kind of stuff. They now have, every bag has like a QR code that you can scan to know that it's been tested, that it has creatine. So they've relaunched basically, and they're doing better than they ever were, which is really cool.
You love to hear it.
So congrats to them. But yeah, they could sell in
maybe
3 to 5 years.
So much cash.
Yeah.
Imagine like the UGC marketing on short form.
Oh yeah.
Like I get the ads on like
do
Insta's the platform that I get the ads for, but they're just so easy. You just get like a jacked person to just eat them on camera with like a good hook and a clip, and there's just millions and millions of views.
Well, I mean, AI UGC as well is like just it's such a gold mine for something like that, because it's such a high margin business as well.
And it's so easy.
Like how much is one of those gummies, do you think, to produce?
No.
And they sell a bag of...
Mate, they're making millions of those things, aren't they? Probably chips.
And they sell a bag of, 50 or 60 for 30 quid.
That's actually all right. I might go get some. I'm taking like creatine pills right now, and I'm having to have like 12 of them on my loading phase, and they're massive, and it's horrible. So like, I'm literally experiencing.
You've been in a loading phase for ages.
Well, I keep doing it, and then I keep forgetting to like maintain it.
So we've talked about caps. We've talked about locked in. We talked about creatine.
Yeah, this isn't planned.
This is the bro.
Let's move on.
Bro podcast.
Astri Capital, 232
Talk
million.
about another bro.
Fund 3. Really cool news that came out there the other day into the FT. I think it got picked up as well, which is really nice.
Let's jump into this. Before we do that, the infrastructure of the on-chain world. Base is built to empower builders, creators, and people everywhere to build apps, grow businesses, create what they love, and earn on-chain. Go to base.org. Go.
Nice. Solo investor Air Street raises 232 million to chase hot AI bets. This is Nathan Beniak's London-based fund. So a sizable new fund raised by a solo UK-based venture capitalist highlights a shift in the AI investment boom. A specialist investor seeks to challenge multi-billion-dollar groups for the sector's hottest deals. Can I just say, this one, obviously solo individual running this whole fund, Europe's largest one-person VC fund now with this raise in terms of assets under management. Nathan's angel portfolio is absolutely nuts.
Bonkers.
You can maybe check it out after this, but
I can list you through a few. Synthesia, 11 Labs, Black Forest Labs, Deline Alliance Industries, which is in Greece, I believe. Like 4 of those are bonkers anyway.
It's already nuts.
So cool.
London-based Air Street Capital has raised 232 million for a new fund. This is Fund 3, bringing assets under management to about 400 million and making it Europe's largest one-person VC. Founded in 2018 by Nathan Beniak, Air Street invests exclusively in AI groups and reflects a broader bet that speed and focus can deliver returns as the cost of backing leading startups rises sharply. I mentioned it. Air Street has backed Germany's Black Forest Labs, UK-based group Synthesia, and 11 Labs. Its new fund is almost twice the size of its previous 121 mil raising in 2023. It's just insane. They also do a lot of work with like tracking the market in the same way that like Citrine Research has published stuff like.
He's built Air Street Press, right?
Yeah. And they have a pay. There's 2. There's cool. Air Street Press, and then I think Air Street Capital has like a newsletter that basically tracks.
Is that not Air Street Press? No,
they're 2 entities. Yeah. I was looking at his LinkedIn yesterday, and I think in a similar fashion where the Citrine Research paper that came out where they're always covering this type of stuff, but they would tweet out a like prediction on the market in terms of like pricing or valuations or like number of investments or where a position would be, and then like 6 months later they'd revisit and be like, oh, like this is where we're at based off the bets that we've made, and these bets were placed off predictions that came from 6 months ago. I think in a similar way, like it will cover pieces like that, like trending topics in the space and what's like the state of AI basically.
Yeah, fine.
And then we'll go back and make bets off the back of it.
Well, he's also known, or the fund specifically is known for kind of like concentrating bets into certain companies. I think so. Like not the widespread stuff. It's like.
Yes, highly selective.
Yeah, highly selective.
And they've got some cool, interesting data.
Also, the fact that he's a solo GP, I think it mentioned in the article, the fact that he's a solo GP means that he doesn't have to go through, partner approvals or anything like that. He's only operating within the kind of like AI realm. Which is in a specific like niche within the AI realm. I can't remember what exactly that they like called it in the article, but the fact that he's able to like deploy capital like very, very quickly means the speed of the market is not a problem for them. Basically.
Yeah. I remember.
I think that was one of the arguments in that solo GP. Like the fact that it's a solo GP, the fact that he is the only guy that has to call the shots. It's a big conviction point for the LPs to be like, hey, we're going to get...
Sorry, I was like, that tag keeps hitting me in the head.
Yeah, no, that's good. The yellow VC hat. It's a great conviction point to go and be like, hey, market's moving super quickly. We don't have to go through all this bureaucracy to be like, approve all this, approve this, approve this. It's just, I see a great company. I have huge conviction in them. Like I can write the check there and then within the meeting.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Exactly right. And I remember chatting...
it's going to happen more often as well.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be a recurring theme. A number of people on the show have mentioned it, and I've had a few conversations just like about around this, where there's like debates going on in terms of who the state of venture, like the only people that can be winning long term at the moment are incredibly early, hyper verticalized specialists that are placing like small concentrated bets, or sorry, large concentrated bets early in their like specific expertise domain.
Similar to guy who is investing in Cambridge and Oxford spin-outs. Had him on at Slush. Costa? David Costa? You know him?
I'm not sure.
Super nice guy. He's from the US. He's from New York. Kevin Costa. Kevin Costa at Belief Capital. Similar thing, right? It's like huge. I don't know how concentrated his bets are. I haven't actually looked at the portfolio and how he runs the fund, but he came out with the launch of his first fund, and similar thing. They only focus on, I think, Oxford and Cambridge grads spinning out of companies, spinning out of university, and they catch them before they've even started. Similar to the guest that we had on a few weeks ago, who are doing a similar thing.
Yeah. I think like when that phrasing is like, that might be like demographic specific individuals, but industry agnostic. Yeah. Whereas this one would be like specifically AI, early stage, large concentration, even more like unique within that sort of AI realm. So there's the guy we had on who's only doing like niche semiconductor bets for like I think it's like $100 million fund. He was really awesome. But yeah, and then on the opposite end is like those people on the early stage, but then also on the growth stage. Those are the only two people that can kind of compete, because then you have this like messy middle of like mid-sized funds that can't move quick enough,
which are most funds,
which is like that, in terms of like the bell curve, right? I should use that as like a sort of like a visual graphic to imagine. And like those are the ones that may potentially be in trouble because they can't really move quick enough at that early stage, but they also don't have the capital and the funding to compete at the growth stage. So they're kind of left just picking up stuff that they're obviously they're happy about, and they are believing that it's going to return the fund, but they are in somewhat at threat in terms of their deal flow and the quality of it. But
we're just things moving super quickly, right? And so solo GPs like Air Street Capital and Belief Capital, they're getting into the hot deals faster than anyone else because they can. There isn't that they have to do a bunch of meetings before they have to get into a deal or whatever. Like it's there and then, and that's how fast the market is moving, right?
Yeah,
like daily things change.
So he goes, the escalating cost of access to the top AI companies has driven the biggest VC firms such as Thrive Capital, Founders Fund, and Andreessen Horowitz to raise far larger multi-billion-dollar funds than in previous eras. So obviously that's like far end of the right-hand side of the bell curve. This has left many smaller VC firms struggling to find a foothold in the most explosive tech boom in decades. Beniak said that the trend forces smaller VC firms to focus and find ways to get noticed. Air Street publishes an annual State of AI report to raise its profile among entrepreneurs. This does incredibly well. It's respected in the industry. It usually goes viral. I remember the last one was picked up. The last one did like incredibly well. And a quote from Nathan: "If you are not in a game of investing in massive labs, you focus a lot more pragmatically on the deployment market and vertical applications and selected infrastructure tools," he said. Beniak said there is a particular opportunity to back AI-powered defense startups on the continent. Air Street, as Luke mentioned earlier, has backed Alliance Industries, a maritime defense startup based in Greece, which raised 14 million last year. Summarize incredibly well basically what we're just discussing, right? You have to niche down, specialize, and usually you can only kind of do that if you come from the space, like Nathan obviously does. Like if you look at his background on LinkedIn, I think you did like a comp sci PhD at Cambridge, so he's someone that you probably trust if you're on the opposite
probably
side.
Has some good connections there. Also talking about European venture capital, in the FT article it said total European venture capital investment rose 5% to 66 billion euros in 2025, a post-pandemic high according to PitchBook. Those gains were driven by big deals for all the continent's top AI and defense companies. Obviously a fund like Air Street Capital is
good fun.
AI Street Capital.
Yeah,
Let's come up with a competitor.
Pitch for like a rebrand to Nathan. See what he says.
Air Street Capital is doing their bit to help European venture. So thank you very much to Nathan doing God's work, and generally just a very positive thing that's coming out of the ecosystem. Here.
While we are getting up the next bit
Spectre.
of news.
Be the reason your phone wins the deal of the decade. Go to tryspectre.com. What's the next one?
We have next on the docket, Delve.
Oh, Delve. So I just had one of my close mates who is a VC. He just said I was about to go with Delve a few like months ago, but I didn't. I went with Deal instead.
With Deal, does Deal do?
I think so. Is it Deal? I think it was Deal.
Might be different.
Oh no, Vanta. My bad.
Yeah, Vanta makes sense. These, So should we delve in?
Cool.
Been waiting to say that for 5 days. I was practicing in in the mirror yesterday. Like, should we do it? Should we jump in? Should we delve in? That's when I knew that would be a great way to intro this specific TechCrunch article, which I'm incredibly excited about. For those who have been living under a rock recently, you may have seen that Delve has, just kind of spiraled out of control. This is an article that TechCrunch have written up. It's really good, from Marina Temkin, about the compliance startup, but essentially they get you SOC 2. They get you compliant. A task that is traditionally...
Do they?
Well, this is the thing. Do they? There was a lot of controversy around these guys when they started posting turnarounds in terms of how quickly they had got customers SOC 2 compliant, purely because... And a great example, which is quite funny now, was Cluely founder, I'm Roy Lee, had posted that they sort of just launched, and then 3 days later they were SOC 2 compliant, which is like a ridiculously quick timeline for anyone who's been through that process before. I think when we were at Convergence, I can't remember who we did it through, but it took us about 2.5 months. It's incredibly time consuming. There are a lot of audits, a lot of checks, and it's something that can't really be...
I've never had to go through any process.
It's super, I mean, our chief of staff did it all. I wasn't touching that. But I wouldn't be allowed to touch that, to be quite honest. It wasn't like I was like, I'm not going to do it. They were more like, we're not going to let you do it. But
you're broadcaster instead.
Yeah. Just did this instead. But
just put caps on for
they were doing it incredibly quickly, and there were already rumors circulating the industry, like, hey, these new guys are kind of, this is too good to be true.
Yeah.
Another classic case. They were also in Forbes 30 under 30, so you may as well just handcuff them on the spot as soon as you get featured in that, because you're obviously going to be heading to jail soon. That's just like, who's going to jail next? That's what the Forbes 30 seems to be at the moment.
Yeah.
But this article, and then it all basically came out. So we've had customers posting. I mean, the group chat that I'm in with a few founders alone, I think 3 of them had gone through Delve previously, and we're just like, what the hell is going on? Everyone was freaking out, and then it got out on X from an anonymous Substacker. Did a deep dive.
Do you know what they're called?
Deep Delver.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great name.
Cool.
Good name.
And basically started to unravel. The founder came out with a few comments. They actually had a press, an internal Delve press release that we can probably find, that people were speculating that the whole thing had just been written with AI. They were manufacturing all these audit reports. They had templates.
Can I go through? I've got a primary allegation list.
Oh yeah. Just knock them off, bing them off right now.
As per Gemini. Anyway, I'll go from the top. Anonymous whistleblower known as Deep Delver, as you mentioned, claiming to be a former client, published a Substack post accusing Delve of systemic fraud. Number 1 allegation. Fabricated evidence. Delve allegedly created fake records of board meetings, tests, and processes that never actually happened.
Yeah. Nice.
And plus what you said, fabricating with AI. Number 2, coerced compliance. Customers were reportedly forced to choose between using this fake evidence or performing manual work, as the promised AI automation was allegedly non-existent. So basically, you want to do the work. Do you actually want to do that work? It's a lot of work. Or just use this like AI generated stuff. Number 3 is lack of independent auditing. The platform is accused of rubber stamping its own reports rather than utilizing independent third-party auditors. What they've done, so they were the 3 allegations. What they've done is like damage control. Is they've disabled demos. Dell has removed the book a demo feature from its official website.
That was like yesterday, I think. They took that down.
Also, same thing that happened yesterday. Insight Partners, who led the $32 million investment, has scrubbed an article from its site that previously praised the startup's AI native compliance.
Yikes.
Which is pretty rough.
Let's jump into this here. So
go for it.
A Y Combinator-backed compliance startup accused of fabricating certifications for its customers has disabled the Book a Demo feature on its website. The controversy detailed last week in a Substack post by an anonymous whistleblower known as Deep Delver has also apparently led Insight Partners to scrub an article explaining its $32 million investment in the startup. Deep Delver, who claims to be a former client, alleged that Delve, which was valued at $300 million during its Series A funding round last year, fabricated compliance data for its customers. The original text of the article, written by Insight Partners managing directors Teddy Wardy and Praveen Akiraju, among others, and titled Scaling AI Native Compliance, How Delve is Saving Companies Time and Money on Compliance Busy Work, remains viewable here. Oh, wow, they literally linked it there via the Wayback Machine. Oh, of course, yeah. An internet archive that preserves snapshots of web pages.
I love the Wayback Machine.
No way. They've Wayback Machined them. That's so funny.
Can you get it on the stream?
Yeah, let me just see if I press this. Will it? I mean, the graphics might be a bit messed up at first. Zoom out, okay.
Are we good?
How's that? Yeah. Nice.
I'm
trying to just look for. So this has been deleted now from Insight Partners website. But you should probably say something instead of just deleting it, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you think? I don't know.
It depends. Like this is like putting out a fire kind of thing. Like just get it gone.
Yeah, like crisis comms.
Yeah, crisis.
Well, there's been no comms, just crisis action.
Well, I assume they would work with, because there's crisis consultants, right? Who deal with situations like this and you know other things that happen with companies. So I assume they've been advised to just delete it because it looks better than making a comment and then deleting.
Yeah, I just like getting rid of it straight away just looks a bit, looks a bit weird though, doesn't it?
Obviously, but I mean, it's all going to look weird, right?
That's an agentic compliance platform that helps startups get compliant 10x faster than existing tools. That was the main thing. There's some praise in that. I mean, they do praise them quite a lot actually in this whole thing. But yeah, tough break. I mean, like these VCs.
Another one dropped.
If they're not
Insight Partners, DD is,
Well, you got to take risks. You got to take risks. If you got to be risk on. If you want to return the fund, some of those bets are going to zero.
True.
Some of those bets, the founders are going to jail. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
That's the way the world works. I guess there's like a power law there of people going to jail. Further down in the article, it gets like more complicated and bizarre. So yes, the Wayback Machine. So Delve's co-founders Karun Kaushik and Selin Kokalar, as well as Insight Partners, did not immediately respond to TechCrunch's request for comment. On its website, Delve claims to have helped customers such as Microsoft, Chase, PayPal, American Express. Wow, these are big clients. And the AI search company Perplexity cut hundreds of hours of compliance busy work. However, it remains unclear. We went from 1,000 hours to 0. However, it remains unclear how many of these companies are still active users.
I've just signed up to the platform and they've emailed me my SOC 2 compliance certificate.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's how quick it, because we saw Lovable had dealt with this.
It's like instead of confirming the fact that you've thanks for signing up, it's like here's the compliance certificate.
Yeah, there's just like it's like on their website, it's like Book a Demo, it's just like get compliant. If you hit that, it's like tick, you're compliant.
Yeah.
But that was so much quicker than that. Thank God for that.
Why would I ever go to Vanta?
Innit? This is a great marketing moment for Vanta. They should be jumping on this right now.
Yeah, why have they not? Do they have X?
Well, they're trying to hire storytellers. Maybe they just haven't hired the storyteller yet.
They can't talk about it because they haven't got them.
There's no one there. There's no one in the room. So in the Substack post, Deep Delver
Vanta
alleged that Delve fabricated evidence of board meetings, tests, and processes that never happened, then forced customers to choose between adopting fake evidence or performing mostly manual work with little real automation or AI. The post further alleges that Delve's platform rubber stamps its own reports rather than undergoing a second layer of independent auditing. Delve responds to the accusations by saying it does not issue compliance reports at all, and then instead it is an automation platform that ingests information about compliance and then provides auditors with access to that information. Delve said that its customers can opt to work with an auditor of their choosing or opt to work with one from Delve's network of independent accredited third-party audit firms. This just, if your CEO is having to explain themselves in a TechCrunch article with the whole of the sort of tech internet raving about how the company's scammed everyone, then I don't think you can kind of lean into like, oh, you know, like, no, we didn't do it like that. Like we did it. I think you're just done. You just have to kind of own it then.
Vanta definitely needs to be jumping on this, but they only have 4,000 followers on X.
Really?
They have 128,000 on LinkedIn, which you would, you know,
yeah, they're quite a LinkedIn brand.
Doesn't surprise me. But maybe this is why they're hiring the storyteller, right? Is to get the word out on X. Surely X is a perfect, like they're a B2B company, right? Whereas most of your audience, other than LinkedIn, you've already won LinkedIn. Just keep the game going.
Yeah, keep it up on X.
Right?
Yeah, they should have someone
like. They have 4,000 followers. They haven't posted. They do post on X, but they just haven't done anything.
I mean, yeah, this would be a great op for them, especially on X.
But then again, it's compliance, so you know you need to find the right person. You need to find the perfect person to make it work.
To be fair,
are there regulations to? No, they wouldn't be because you're not like.
Yeah, you just have like a social media manager like, who's messing around. Like, look at that other one, that compliant VC guy. Like that's a, you know, the one who takes the mick out of Europeans for the
that's
GDPR.
just an AI like stupid account.
That's owned by
it's a meme account, isn't it?
Owned by a compliance company in the US that passes deal flow through. Yeah. It's a growth strategy. Yeah.
Oh wow, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Vanta, get
like
your own
Urinensbergen or something like that. It's a really
Vanta, get your own Urinensbergen.
Yeah, it's a growth.
They need it.
It's a growth play.
That's so clever.
Really cool.
I never realized that.
Yeah, it's brought them like a considerable amount of pipeline. They're a startup, so it's quite, you know, Vanta would, you know, having a couple extra deals come in is nothing like Vanta's like inbound engine just works for itself now, probably, I assume. But yeah, it's a growth hack, really, really cool. But
I mean, but if they want to scale quicker, like surely X is an untapped market. But then again, everyone on X knows Vanta, so
yeah, I mean, I think their revenues are probably pretty juicy as it is. I don't know exactly what they do. Should we check?
Yeah. Before or while you're checking, Airwallex, leave outdated business banking behind with Airwallex, the all-in-one financial platform built for the pace of modern business. Multi-currency accounts, corporate cards, expense management, online payments, all-in-one platform. Go to airwallex.com. First on the show, we have Mirko. Mirko's just on a Series B with Dash Zero. We're going to talk to him all about that. That's going to be really good. We got him from 12 to 12.15.
Europe's newest unicorn.
Valued $1 billion, which is cool. So that's going to be good. Do we have anything else? Should we jump into the town square? I guess we have one more story, but we could do the one more story for 3 minutes. Let's do that.
No. I want to spend a bit more time on that. That's a really good one.
Okay.
I wanna.
Let's just jump into the. Okay, well we can talk about Revolut's profits. Revolut hit a record £1.7 billion of profit in 2025. The UK saw revenue climb 46% to £4.5 billion, with customer numbers jumping 30% to 68.3 million and balances soaring 66% to £50.2 billion. Lendings doubled to £2.2 billion, fueled by diverse...
Sorry, carry on. I'm just getting this ready.
Yeah, nice. Do that. Fueled by diverse products like subscriptions, up 67%, and cards up 45%. But fees, which is 76% of the income, are probably most.
We've got Mirko coming in right now.
And then we can jump into the ad.
Yeah, we can close.
Hello, how's it going?
No way, dude. Congratulations on the news. I think a round of applause are in order for Europe's newest unicorn. But congrats. How are you? You must be super busy.
I am super busy, but I'm also back at work, right? I think the biggest thing after the round is to get not too crazy and start working again, right? That's what you have to do.
Yeah. Straight back, heads down. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Maybe for the stream and for the viewers, who are you and what is Dash Zero?
And give us the update as well. Tell us what you've raised and all of that kind of stuff.
We'd love to hear more about the round. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Mirko, co-founder and CEO of Dash Zero. We are an observability company. Observability means that we basically watch your applications and see if they are performant and if they have errors, right, automatically using AI. And it's a $40 billion market, so pretty big worldwide. We are founded 3 years ago and just raised a $110 million Series B at a $1 billion valuation with Walden leading it. Yeah, so that's in short. And I mean, as you can see, I'm a bit older. I'm 27 years in that space. This is my third company. The last one was Instana. We sold to IBM in 2020. I took a short break and started again 3 years ago.
Go straight back to building.
Yeah, so third time founder. You just can't stay away.
I wanted to. I promised my wife to stay away, but after 2 years not working, she told me, please do something, right?
That's so good. She was telling you to get out the house and go
get out.
Go create a unicorn. Go on.
No, it's really funny, right? Because when I sold to IBM, I stepped out. I thought like, I will spend a lot of times with my kids and do these things. And then the kids, after a few weeks, said, "Hey, Dad, we have our hobbies, we do our things. Maybe you find your things, right? But we don't really want to spend so much time with you, right?" And then you're like,
That is so good. So this is like, in your spare time, you decided to create Europe's newest unicorn.
Exactly. I did a lot of investment in between. So I did 85 angel investments. Helped a lot of founders here in Europe. N8N, for example, was part of it. Helped Jan and a few others. But then I figured out that I'm more like a player, not so much a coach, right? I like to be on the playing field more than standing at the sideline. I also get very nervous when I'm at the sideline. So then I decided to build Dash Zero.
Dude, so cool. So
I love
awesome.
it. I had a question about like founder-led sales. I want to ask like your philosophy around it, because you're a huge proponent of founder-led sales.
Yes.
I think I saw some like random stats when we were doing some research. Your personal content reaches on LinkedIn 200,000 impressions a month and generates like some incredible inbound metrics and as well as outbound as well. So like, talk to us a little bit about your philosophy of founder-led sales and what's happening there.
I was just talking to the other founder from a competitor, BetterStack. He was on my podcast, and they're really good on YouTube, right? And I said, hey, I'm now going on a show with these young guys, and I always feel old because I'm really not that into social media and these things, but you have to, right?
Yeah.
To be very honest, as a founder and CEO, I think you have to create your personal brand. I don't really like it. I'm not enjoying it, but I have to do it, right? So I started creating this on LinkedIn, right? Started posting almost every day, gained, I think, around 20,000 followers over the past 2 years. And now, yes, I get engagement. And I do think that this is part of the founder's responsibility these days, right? You have to do something. I think I have to do more on video, YouTube, and TikTok and whatever. I'm not there yet, but I will, right? I think you have to. That's where you find people, where you find customers these days, even in the enterprise world.
Yeah.
And we do that a lot. And to your question, I think founder-led sales is essential for every startup. I always tell my founders, you have to do the first $1 million yourself. Mm-hmm. And you can't really delegate it, because you have to learn you have to feel if you have product market fit. You have to learn how to sell it. You have to learn the message, what resonates, what doesn't resonate. If you talk to 5-10 customers each day, you get a super sense of what's resonating or what's not, right? And you don't get that if you do that in your room and you create a PowerPoint and you say, hey, this is a great message. once you go out, then reality hits you, right, with the hammer, and you will figure out maybe it doesn't resonate, right, only with yourself, but not with the customer. So I'm a big believer in founder-led sales. And the same is true for LinkedIn, right? If you send a message, you will see if 50 people watch it, or 1,000, or 10,000, 50,000. You will get a sense of what's working, what's not working.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I following on from that, I saw you said companies that win are the ones that master go-to-market faster than anyone else. Talk to us a little bit about this, and about, I guess, some advice for founders kind of starting out.
Look, I think you don't have to tell this so much in the US, but I'm a German, right? And Germans are kind of engineers, right? We love to create, I mean, I'm not sure which car you are driving, but if you enter a BMW or Audi, it's perfectly engineered, right? Everything is thought through. And so we tend to over-engineer things, right? And so a lot of founders are engineers. And so what I'm telling them is, in this space, not the best product wins, the best go-to-market motion wins, right? At the end of the day, I mean, look at products like Lovable, right? I mean, it's a great product, but the way they have marketed the founder, right? How present he is, how much followers he has, how much hype he created about the brand, how good the brand is, right?
Yeah.
I think this is 10, maybe there are 50 other Lovables that are equally good, and you don't even know, right? Because you know Lovable because it's everywhere. And I think that's something you have to learn, right? That you can now create a 10x better Lovable. It will be hard to sell it, because you have to compete with this massive marketing and go-to-market motion that they have now, right? And that's essential, right?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Can I ask, like, how's that changed since the IBM sale days? It must be wildly different.
It's widely different. Absolutely. I think you cannot. You're probably younger, born after I started working, right? But at the time, you have to imagine that there were not even mobile phones, right? You basically knock doors. I mean, I remember times when you had to walk into a customer, and then you try to get through, right? Or you have to call a customer, right, on a real phone. And these days, I can reach. I yesterday did this announcement post. I reached over 100,000 people with that post, right?
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, this is 20 years ago. You would have to call 100,000, or you had to write it on paper and send it, right? It costs you a lot of money. So it was basically impossible. So you had to do this one-to-one kind of sales, where these days, one person from everywhere in the world can reach hundreds of thousands of people worldwide, right? It's a massive change. And by the way, also the way you buy software changed, right? If you download an app on your mobile phone, how many seconds do you give the app after you open it until you deinstall it, right? It's probably seconds, right? You open it, it doesn't look good, boom, gone, right? It's a total different buying experience, right? Where 20 years ago, software looked like shit, right? Because you didn't have an option, right? You had to use it, right?
Yeah.
But these days, it's more like consumerized, right? Your software has to look good. The access must be smooth, even in our category, right? It's self-service. Developers log in, they want a good experience. And if the experience is not good after 5 minutes, gone, right? So massive change. So this product-led growth is massive.
Yeah. Talk to us about the philosophy now, building -0 from the Series B. What's the plan? With all of this in mind that we've just talked about, like how are you going to get further into the market, deeper into the market to kind of 10x the company or whatever?
I mean, it's twofold. One thing is that we are undergoing a massive change because of AI.
Yeah.
Right? So I think our industry, it started with the developers, right? If you see how my engineers code these days, I could not have imagined that even 6 months ago, that, 95% of the code that we generate is generated by AI these days, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you are 95% more productive. It just means the code is generated by AI and you get more productive overall, but that's maybe 20-30% more productivity. And that shift is now hitting production too, right? Because now you generate all this code, which humans cannot review anymore, really. So you put it into production, and then systems like ours have to look, is this running? Does it have errors? If yes, what's exactly the root cause for the error? And feed that back to a human or AI, right? so that it can be fixed. So we are undergoing a massive change, and we are adopting to that change. We are basically building all these AI products on top of our platform. That's number one. So this will be part of the investment. And the other is just go to market, right? So we have to hire salespeople. We have to hire solution architects, especially in the US. The US is 60-70% of the market. So we have to go. And today we are bigger in Europe than in the US in terms of revenue. Mm-hmm. So we have to shift that, right? We are investing heavily. We have a sales office in New York and in Boston. And we are hiring.
Yeah,
love it.
Wow.
And investing in these trade shows here, right? Like go to trade shows, show your product. You see these red racing suits, right?
They look awesome.
Wait, is this the merch? This is the Dash Zero merch.
Or you see the dress? Yes.
Dude, this is awesome. Can we buy some? That is awesome.
I send you one.
Dude, we would love
Get
some.
Ronan to wear it on the show.
I'll wear it on the show if you send us.
We will send it to you. 100%.
That is so cool.
A racing suit. I've never seen a tech company have a racing suit.
Our booth looks like a racing garage, right? It's like a garage, and this is the pit crew, right? And so.
Dude, this is what Europe needs more of right here. We need more of these cool marketing stunts. That is awesome. We're getting a little bit sidetracked, which is great, but I'd love to talk about, I guess, the market itself and the opportunity. Like you mentioned, I think, did you say it was $40 billion market that you guys are going after?
Yes.
I think it's the first AI native observability platform we've had on the show for sure. I would just love to hear more about specifically the pain points of these teams. What are they facing? And then I guess the market as a whole.
So first of all, every software out there that is running in production has some sort of observability. You cannot really run. It's like an X-ray, right? So the problem is if you would, let's say our largest customer is Zalando, like big e-commerce player. They have a shop and they need to make sure that you can buy the articles, you can check out, you can pay. It's not slow, right? You will not wait for 20 seconds to see a web page anymore, right? And so they need visibility into that platform. And that's what observability does. We tell them, hey, here are your users. This is the average performance, right? The response time. Here was an error. It's only happening on iPhone 15 in that mobile network, right? Or you have a database problem. Some new code is released and it creates issues. So that's what we do, right? We look at your full stack and we will tell you if your application is up and running and if it runs well, right? So literally everyone who has an application and it's important for you has to have observability. So it's also a pretty red ocean market. There are probably 20 big players in the market, right? Datadog is the biggest publicly traded $50 billion market cap. And there are others, right? Every large cloud vendor, AWS, Microsoft, Google, they all have solutions for it. Yeah. So
sorry,
go ahead.
Sorry to cut you off. Talk to us about the data piece for engineers, right? Say, nowadays, as you mentioned, there's so many options out there for people to use in terms of products and stuff. But what's kind of siloing people into a certain product is the data that they hold within that product. And if they churn, they can't necessarily go and, they can't bring that data with them. Talk to us a little bit about that. I think, is that open telemetry?
Yes. So open telemetry. So think about for the last 20 years, every vendor created their own data format. So all the data that you need is proprietary. And then I think 7 years ago, Google essentially started an initiative and an open source project to standardize that data. Because for cloud vendors, it makes sense. If they send you data, they don't want to send it in a -0 format or Datadog format. They want to send it so that every vendor can use it. And so OpenTelemetry was born. It took a while to really become a standard, right? Probably 5 years to really be standardized. And now I would say it's the market standard. If you use OpenTelemetry, you can send it to basically any tool. Everybody understands it. And you're, as you said, right, you're not locked in anymore. So you can switch vendors easily. And that's a huge transformation in the market. And so that's why I started the company. I saw OpenTelemetry and I thought, wow, not a single tool is fundamentally built natively on that standard. So we built their zero from the ground up on OpenTelemetry.
Nice. Okay. And another question, I guess, about how things are, like the direction that things are heading. Are you guys seeing there's, these companies that you work with, I guess, customers maybe, or design partners, is there like an increase as these companies become more AI native and like AI is essentially doing most of the coding, if not all of the coding. There's just a human kind of checking if it looks good or not. Are you guys seeing like an increase in like flags that you're getting on your platform? Like, are there more errors, I guess, that are being caught, or like, is that something that you can comment on? Or
Absolutely. So the way I describe it, what's happening at the moment is, so what we help you is finding the needle in the haystack, right? You have to imagine you have a large, like Zalando, billions of data points, and there is an issue. And all the data points are the hay, and somewhere in the hay, there is the problem, right? And we help you find that needle. And with AI, you get more and more hay, right? The more you develop, you more deploy, the more data you have. So your haystack grows bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's basically easy to understand that finding the needle in a larger haystack is not that, it doesn't make it easier, right? Yeah. So what we're trying to do on the other side, again with the AI, is we try to reduce the haystack to make it again easier to find the needle. And then the other thing is all pricing models are based on hay, so you pay for the hay, right? And so that also means there's not really an incentive for most vendors to reduce the haystack because you pay more money. Yeah. There are customers like publicly, Datadog shared that I think OpenAI pays $175 million a year for Datadog, right?
Wow,
almost unbelievable. So you can. This is a huge haystack, right? Yeah. And so what we try to do is we help customers reducing that haystack again, right? Because not all that data is relevant, and we use OpenTelemetry and AI to do that, and that makes it also cheaper. It's not only faster to find the needle; it's also cheaper, right? And that's kind of the core message that we have: reducing the haystack, pay less, keep only the data that's really needed. And we help you automatically finding the needle. So this is called root cause analysis, right? We find you the root cause automatically with AI.
Yeah. Wow, that's so much cleaner. So cool. I know we're a little bit over, and you have a trade show to get to. So we don't want to keep you. Yeah, I mean, look, thanks for coming on during this incredibly busy time. Congratulations, and I really do want some of these.
Yeah, I keep you up on that, right? You will wear it.
I will wear it on the show if you send over, Mirko. I promise.
I will. Thank you, guys. It was nice to meet you.
Awesome. Have a good one, man. Congrats again. Ciao.
That's great. What a legend.
I think I just got myself some new merch. Maybe.
This has become the
full red race.
This has become the ETN pitch for merch. Every startup we have on. Every company we have on, we've got a pitch to get.
That was some cool merch.
That's probably the coolest merch we'll get.
Like I could wear that in Shoreditch, and everyone would be like, normal outfit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, he's casual fit today.
Yeah. Looking good.
Just a casual fit. That would look nice with the Airwallex
suit, dude.
Bucket hat, actually.
Yeah. Airwallex, leave out dated business banking behind with Airwallex. Go to airwallex.com.
Look at this. I'm not sure if that's in focus or not.
That actually looks super nice, to be fair.
Like a little with the
Dash Zero racing suit.
Absolutely. Let's just put that back on our Gemini Nano Banana hoodie jumper.
Looking good. Anyway, Polymarket, the world's largest prediction market. Stay informed and profit from your knowledge. Go to polymarket.com. Let's jump into. Oh no, should we continue doing this Revolut? So the Revolut record, $1.7 billion, 1.7 billion pounds, $2.3 billion in profit in 2025. European style, indeed. They have plans for $13 billion of investments and target 100 million users. They're currently at 68 million users by mid 2027.
Yeah. They also, let's not forget, had Graham Norton ride a horse on their recent advert. So I'm just going to pull that up and show you guys. It's quite quick. It's only about 28 seconds. Just a quick one with Graham Norton. So this is Revolut. They say, to be honest, I'm actually, number of impressions on this video, actually quite low for Revolut. Maybe it didn't bang, but let's let the viewers decide. Let's see what they think. Let's see what you think as well. Have you seen this?
I've seen it.
Okay. Welcome to my bank. Yes, Revolut is a
quite
bank.
loud.
But what is
Yeah,
a
it's
bank?
quite loud.
Is it just a place to keep your money? Is it a people thing? Is it tomorrow, but today? Or do we need to think about what a bank is a little differently? Want to mull over a gentle canter. Come on. It's a metaphor. Revolut.
Okay. Reviews, what do we think? Just go
Firstly,
straight off the dome. Just like, what are you thinking right now?
firstly,
What are your
Lloyd's
thoughts?
TSB have already done a horse ad.
Oh, you're right. You cannot challenge the Lloyd's horse ad.
They've
It's a
already,
classic.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I knew straight away. I did not think of that. I did not think of that. You're so right. Conversation over.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's
They've
a mic
lost
drop
already. That's
moment.
why it didn't perform well.
That is
because-
so true. And what's the song? It's like
Yeah.
oh, and they're excellent
Banger
as well. It's the tunes
Banger
are just
ad.
get. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Debate over.
Debate over.
This sucks.
Anyway, let's talk about the AI agent that has called 3,000
Wow, that's
pubs
so
to
true.
price a pint. Not just a pint, a Guinness.
Love it.
Tech EU has reported, thank you to Tech EU, doing all the good work in PR
Yeah, I
and comms.
think it was Kate Lawrence who covered this one.
Indeed. Good on Kate.
Here it is. Me, Rachel.
Over Paddy's weekend in 2026, a friendly Northern Irish woman called Rachel rang more than 3,000 pubs across all 32 counties to find out the price of a pint of Guinness. Over 1,000 gave a price. Only a handful seemed to realize Rachel was an AI voice agent. A data gap of 14 years in the making. This is super interesting. So I don't actually know the details of this. So this is interesting. Ireland's Central Statistics Office stopped tracking pint prices 14 years ago, leaving no comprehensive data set. So in 2011, they just stopped doing any form of data tracking at all.
Can't do that. You just can't do that.
And so on the website, they have like the data, how in 2014, I think the average pint price was about €3.52. Now is
For a
about
Guinness?
£5. Yeah. So if we go onto the website,
Yeah, can you get some data up?
thegindex.ai. So if you
pull
type
up
in
the
Gindex,
Gindex, would you?
let me
Pull up the Gindex.
let me send this to you. It's
Can
at
I
bottom-
get the Gindex?
Yeah. It's at the bottom of the.
Let's pull up the Gindex.
If you go to there, it's at the bottom of the doc. The Gindex is
Okay, I'm not sure how much of the Gindex we can get on. I can zoom out.
Yeah. Zoom out.
Okay,
Zoom out.
here's
Okay,
the
so the
Gindex.
average pint price is €5.97 now. If you scroll all the way down to
How
there's
far
a
back
load
are we
of
going
data
here in
boxes,
terms of
the missing 14 years. So if you go,
the missing? Yeah, I got it here.
is that it? Is
Yeah,
that the
yeah.
one? If you
These are all like
press on that,
Guinness
if you press on that,
on this here.
you should be able to download it. And
Download. Oh, I'm downloading
you're downloading the Gindex.
the Gindex price timeline.
And then you should be able to get it
I can
popped
kind of
up.
just put it in the middle of the screen, but I think
How's that?
we'd have to. Oh yeah, that's fine. I think this is okay.
Looks good.
Just move it left. Okay, right, left. You're doing both. Oh, that way. Okay.
Other way.
Oh, this way. Nice.
Okay, we're good. Missing 14 years. So a bit of context. Essentially, I can't remember what they were called now. I've missed it. It's Ireland's Central Statistics Office. No idea why.
This is
They just stopped
staple.
in 2011. But they stopped tracking the prices.
This is what
the
happens
price of
when you're not
pints.
tracking key consumer goods in a country. They just run rampant.
Yeah, 2001, the average price of a Guinness was €3.06. Then 2011, so 10 years later, it went up to €3.93. And now it's gone up over €2 in 14 years. Now it's €5.
Well, I guess like the percentage change there looks, to be honest, somewhat aligned, right? Like if it did,
Yeah. It hasn't actually gone crazy.
So like those 10 years, it's like what an increase. I'm not going to do public math, but roughly slightly less than 90 cents. No, the jump is pretty big actually. Since they stopped tracking it, like that doesn't track linearly. I think there's like
there's a bit
gap
higher,
up.
right? Yeah, fine.
Like
Like the growth of the average pint has increased.
Okay, so this is just good context in general for the article,
Indeed.
which we will go to now.
Article in response, Matt Cortland created the Gindex. So in response to Ireland Central Statistics Office stopping tracking pints, using AI to rapidly collect and analyse pint prices across Ireland, where costs have become increasingly inconsistent. The result is what he claims is the most complete index of pint prices to date. An effort to bring transparency and potentially help normalise the pint of a Guinness. From pub owner to AI engineer, this is a background on Matt Cortland. Matt Cortland is an American AI engineer based in London who previously lived in Ireland for several years. Former US Ireland Alliance scholar, he holds a master's degree in creative digital media and from TU Dublin. He's founded a global pub and entertainment company in Ireland, bunch of other stuffs. But I want to talk about Rachel, the AI agent. So designing a believable pub cooler.
Hey, this guy's a legend.
Yeah, he's a genius.
Created working magic wands.
A
chain of IoT-enabled wizard bars where he created working magic wands. He's since transitioned into AI engineering and private consulting, developing his own AI projects while building AI products and tooling for companies, several of which... this guy, I'm a former pub and bar owner, so I know what it's like to be on the other end of customer pricing calls. This guy's a legend.
So good.
And let's not miss this quote here. But I also know what it's like to be on the consumer end and paying a kidney for a pint. I apologise to everyone I tortured over Paddy's weekend. Rachel just wanted a wee drink. Rachel being the AI agent.
Rachel just wanted a drink. Designing a believable pub cooler. Cortland named the AI agent Rachel and trained her to be a friendly, direct, and if questioned, transparent. She explained she's putting together a wee price comparison list and confirms she is an AI if asked. I'm not doing.
So they are. I wonder what they use 11
Labs. They use
Labs.
11 Labs. The calls were made through 11 Labs conversational AI platform.
They should be getting on this.
Twilio for telephony, yeah, using an old Irish SIM. The phone numbers come from Google Maps API, publicly available numbers for each venue. Cortland indexed over 5,200 pubs across 32 counties, using Google's Places API. Basically, Rachel called 3,000, only 2,052 answered the phone, and over 1,000 gave a verified price when they asked. And they basically pulled the call transcripts, then using Claude, and then they sorted all the data, I assume using Claude as well. Whole thing cost about €200 to run, plus a lot of my time.
Mate, just absolutely genius.
Getting the voice right proved critical. By the way, €200 to create I know someone who's building a voice agent for an old people's homes industry, right? Basically, where if you're, a doctor would always have to be on call to know what's going on with the patient. So then if a family calls, they always have to be able to answer the phone to be like, oh yeah, this, your mom, your dad, your whatever relative is okay. Good. They're doing this, or whatever. He's building an AI agent to sit there and do that. This guy has just built basically a similar thing, 80% of what that is.
This is also outbound
for
calls.
200.
This isn't receiving inbound.
No,
it's outbound.
200 euros.
Yeah. I mean, look, you just know for a fact, UK government would announce a project like this and spend 3 mil on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that would just get brushed under the rug. This is an insane. This is honestly.
We'll have to get him on.
Yeah,
should have tried today. We'll get him on Thursday. Yeah.
So he goes, getting the voice right proved critical, with much of the work focused on refining Rachel's accent, tone, and personality. I mean, what better to do this with 11 Labs? They can just smash it all out of the park. Cortland tested dozens of options before landing on a Northern Irish accent inspired by Rachel Duffy from The Traitors, which he felt sounded the most natural in conversation. Duffy was the first female traitor to win the show, and she was just so good, he said. She played an absolute blinder. That's what I wanted. Someone warm, someone you'd believe. A Northern Irish accent that makes we were looking to come in for a wee drink sound completely natural. This is genius because he's also like psychologically optimized it to increase like positive conversations, essentially, right? Like you actually thought about how can I make this like, you know, the least invasive and the most free flowing.
Yeah, because if it was like an American
they say,
asking for a
here's a joke. So Cortland says the biggest challenge wasn't technical infrastructure, but making the agent feel human, particularly in an Irish context. Funnily enough, and he is traditionally American. Funnily enough, for the Irish market, it was training her to have banter, which she really struggled with, he said. Should have made her American. She's so good. How did staff react? Few people Rachel spoke to realized they were talking to an AI agent. The calls produced dozens of memorable exchanges. When questioned, Rachel told them truthfully that she was putting together a wee price comparison list. Most people accepted that and moved on. This reminds me of Polsia, our boy over there, and when Nicola played the recording of the call that they had using Polsia when someone had called up, and you know Polsia's voice agent answers the phone, and the person, you know, the human who was having the exchange with the agent was like very dismissive, very rude, and then halfway through the call, like kind of double checked, and then the human basically thinks like, oh wow, this isn't an agent, this is actually a human, because like,
I'm so sorry.
the conversation and the personality and the voice tone is flowing so well, ends up apologizing to the agent, and Nicola has that all recorded, which is I guess an example of like where things are at right now technologically in the voice AI game. But and also like in the live sort of context.
I just think the fact that you can do this for €200 is like
that is honestly nuts, because there are 100% you can see a government dropping millions on something, and maybe it wouldn't be for Guinness in particular, but like some sort of survey related I mean like even like census data and stuff like that, right?
I mean some of this data is actually really funny as well.
So did he make this website?
Yeah.
Oh wow! Because it's
probably
like,
using Framer.
Yeah. He will have vibe coded that boy up. Are all they're meant to look like Guinnesses, right? All the boxes.
Yeah.
That's
awesome. So each box has a bit of data. If you go onto the thing and show the screen,
index.
Get change for a £5. Pubs where pints allegedly cost €5 or less. There's quite a few actually, but one of the cheapest is the Phoenix Bar with £3 Guinness.
Wait, where are you?
It's just go to the top.
Oh, the top.
Yeah. No. Like the top of the.
Yeah. Oh, there.
There you go. You're good. The Phoenix Bar, £3 Guinness. The brewery is a €3.50 Guinness. And then they've got like the most expensive pints. The Ord Bubliner. Bubliner?
The old Dubliner, I think that one's
Dubliner.
Yeah.
The old Dubliner.
But that'll be the famous one, where it's like
oh really?
The actual Dublin, the Guinness brewery.
Yeah, fine.
It's called. It must be. And then the Quay's Dublin Temple Bar as well. I think is connected to that somewhere.
So this is
those are outrageous prices for
the old Dubliner is €3.20 above Dublin's average.
I think that one's like the touristy bit where you have like you can, if you want, you can pay extra for a tour, but it's where they like.
It's like the most. Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure.
The most famous pub outside Dublin is Sean's Bar, which is £6, and they do a pint for €6.30, which is nothing. That's
a very good price.
Yeah.
Let's just have a quick check on our
we got
lineup. We have Robert at Lamina live on ETN next, and he will be joining at 1 p.m.
Let's check into the town square.
So we can jump over there into the town square and see where people are at. I'm just replying to Marcus.
Oh, what's happening?
Nothing. We're all good.
Okay, we're good. Let's talk about Neuralink.
Let's talk about Neuralink. I will do that one sec. If you can just bear with me 1 second.
Okay.
And
we can talk about this Neuralink thing. So John L. Noble posted a tweet about Neuralink and that he'd received his Neuralink N1 implant.
Probably one of the most nuts things I've seen on the timeline, definitely this year.
Yeah.
Like
pretty
pretty
bonkers. So we can read through this. Let's just read the whole thing. It's hard to believe it's already been 100 days since I received my Neuralink N1 implant. Looking back, the whole journey feels like science fiction that somehow became my everyday life. The surgery on day 0 was surprisingly easy. A quick general anesthetic, a small incision, and the robotic system did the rest, precisely placing the 1024 ultra-thin threads into my motor cortex. I woke up alert and in good spirits and went home the next afternoon. That's bonkers. By day 3, I was feeling a lot better, and by day 7, the little scar was already starting to fade. Recovery was genuinely minimal. I felt sharper and more positive than I had been in years after the BCI was turned on. The real fun started in week 2 when we paired the implant with my brand new Apple MacBook, my very first Mac. The Neuralink engineers walked me through a calibration session, and within a couple of minutes, I was moving the cursor just by thinking. At first, it felt like I was trying to remember a dream, but by week 3, it was second nature. Scrolling, clicking, typing, all mind controlled. The Mac integration was buttery smooth. I went from total Mac newbie to power user faster than I ever expected. By day 80, I was ready for the big leagues. That's when I fired up World of Warcraft for the first time with pure thought control. The first raid felt clunky, but once my brain and the BCI synced, it was pure magic. I'm now raiding and exploring Azeroth, hands-free at full speed, no mouse, no keyboard, just intention. It's honestly brilliant. The freedom is addictive. Social media side has been just as surprising. Every update I've shared has been met with genuine excitement rather than skepticism. Thousands of messages from people with disabilities, gamers, students, and scientists, all asking real questions about the tech and what it could mean for the future. The positivity has been overwhelming and incredibly motivating. 100 days in, and I already can't imagine life without it. The M1 didn't just give me a new way to use a computer, it gave me a new way to live. Can't wait to see what the next 100 days bring. Mad.
It's one of those rare feel-good stories we've got
good
here
from
on
the
timeline. A Neuralink dub in the chat. It's insane. There's a video of him playing. I think it's Warcraft here. I believe I've not played this game before. But I can maybe fast forward to a part where there's some action here, and you can see that he's moving the character with his mind. This is using, and he engages the character and fights. So you can see the cursor there at the bottom of the screen. That's like selecting the relevant. I'm assuming there are different attacks.
It's just like where he looks. Is that how it works? I don't know.
No, it's with his mind. It's not even his eyes.
Yeah, but like is his mind connected to the where he looks? I don't know.
I guess he's just like think. I guess yeah, because you'll probably have to.
I've got to think there. I've got to think to look there.
Yeah.
The fact that this is this like in like Sifted, FT, BBC, anywhere?
I don't think so. When was it? This was only posted, I think, yesterday. So it is quite fresh news. But
I guess, yeah.
Don't think
just
it's
the
been
fact
picked
that
up by.
Just the fact that tech has got to that point where that you can control, you can literally do mind control with tech now.
Yeah.
Bonkers.
Yeah. And I mean, this did 1.6 million views,
which I think is not actually that much.
Which is surprisingly, if you'd asked me 5 years, like how many views do you think a real story and video of someone using mind control would get? I'd probably say more than 1.6 million. I think that's like a low number. Considering he's controlling technological interfaces with his brain.
I don't know too much about Neuralink in terms of the rollout, but I imagine this is only for select patients. They're having to be super careful with how and who they roll this out to.
Yeah.
This isn't the first time it's been put in a human yet.
No, it's not.
But it's happening like more and more, obviously. But it'll be interesting, like if they ever roll this out, like what kind of like, consumer wide.
Yeah, do you remember there was a video of like the monkey using it as well, playing I forget the name of the traditional game where you're like at first it was like when you're there's two of these. Is it called ping pong? Yeah, is that the name? Like the OG like Atari style.
Oh yeah, where it's like moving like this.
Yeah. It was like doing that, and it was like winning.
I remember
and
that.
then playing it again, but when you're playing against yourself, and it's just like those blocks that you have to destroy.
Yeah.
And that obviously did rounds because it was one of the most insane videos I've ever seen. But you love to see this from John L. Noble. Great to hear he's doing well. Great to hear that it's working. Great to hear that everything was
bonkers. I can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah,
so cool.
Real good story there.
Thank you very much to John Noble.
Yeah, very cool. That. Really cool to follow your story. We wish you you don't even need a speedy recovery. It's already working great.
Indeed. Let's jump into some more stuff. Kalish is showing some fun invoices. Why should invoices be boring? Invoices.
Yes.
Here's your invoice for 200k flour.
Yes, this is Benja. This is Benjamin Akar says, here's your invoice, flour, 200k flour. On Kalish's why should invoices be boring? And it made me stop and think, and I thought to myself, why should invoices be boring? Would you rather see like you're paying
flowers?
Well, not flowers, but like, would you?
We have the logo on our invoices. We have our logo. That's pretty nice.
Do we?
Yeah.
See, that's good. I guess with there's still like a growth hack there. If someone maybe
they already know about us.
Maybe if someone else though was walking by and saw that, they'd be like, who are you paying? Let's have a look at.
Growth hacks within invoices.
They open the debate like, can you make sending someone money enjoyable? Is it always going to be a hit, no matter what you're paying, whether it's £1, whether it's £200? Are you always going to be like?
I think if we like fully branded up our invoice, properly, actually got a designer to work on our invoice. The only thing is, what's the point?
Yeah, no.
We've already provided like a good service. And
no one's angry with said service, but it just makes me think of when you pay for something with Apple Pay and it's like ba-ding, and then a tick and it's green, and like. I'm not
like that.
Maybe that's the noise we should play when we send. Imagine if someone can open the email of the invoice, and that's the noise.
Or we just put like an audio file.
Yeah, maybe that plays.
Please play this before you pay.
There's birthday
play before you pay.
Oh, like a link. Like hit this link.
Yeah.
Play it.
Play before you pay.
Play before you pay.
And then you're like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
It plays the sound, and they're like, oh. Nice.
Now we're giving them extra work.
I'm ready to drop my whatever we're charging
£1 billion pounds a year. But it's kind of like that birthday card where you used to open the birthday card and then it would play like a nice a nice song. It could be something along those lines.
Instead, you're just having tens of thousands of pounds sometimes.
Yeah. Well,
being ripped out of your bank account.
Benjamin, we thank you for bringing this to our attention.
Although I disagree, Benjamin.
I'm still on the fence. I'm not sure. I'm kind of a fan. It's an interesting one. Maybe one to be decided another day. So we were talking about the 1.6 million impressions that a successful Neuralink implant got. Claude released an update. Guess how many views? Don't go on the video. I've not. Okay, so what I do know about this video is when I saw it.
It's gone bonkers because it's a direct competitor against OpenClaw. It's a biggie.
It's a biggie. Because when I saw it, it had been up for 2 hours and it had 4 million impressions, 4 million views. It had been 2 hours. I've never seen a video with that much. And that was last night at around 9ish, I think, or 9ish or 10. I'm gonna guess it's on. I'm gonna 25 mil.
Double it. 41 million.
Wow.
It's on 41 million. Claude has come out and announced you can now enable Claude to use your computer to complete tasks. It opens your apps, navigates your browser, fills in spreadsheets, anything you do sitting at your desk. Research preview in Claude Cowork and Claude Code Mac OS only. Should we watch it?
I'm ready. I'm way ahead.
I feel like we have to. Ready?
I was like, stopped listening to you. I was just
Two,
getting
one.
this in.
Mate, the tunes every single time. They're great. Oh, this is in Claude Cowork. Oh, yeah. Okay. This is in all of it. That's cool.
Fan of that.
The thing is, that's such an easy task.
Yeah, but I think it's meant to be more.
Like when do you ever need to do that?
What? Clean your desktop?
No, that's not cleaning it. Like, isn't like put pictures. I mean, maybe a producer would need to do that, but put pictures in a certain format and put your logo in it. Like,
oh, is that what it asked it to do? I thought it was just like clean my screen. But
no. It was like asking to. It was like, oh, like I've got dinner plans. I need to put my logo in this and make these 1,200 PNGs all all have the same like aspect ratio, and put my white logo like on the right side. And it's like,
why is that
great.
relevant to the dinner plans?
No, it's not. It's not.
Oh, they're saying I can't do it.
Yeah, I can't do it because
why
I
are
have
they
dinner plans.
letting Claude? Why does Claude need to know that?
I don't know.
I think because I'm getting vibes off this video that is not aimed at your maybe typical Claude.
This is Claude. They were only using Claude. So they said it's available in Claude Cowork, Claude Code, and whatever the other thing. I can't remember what it was.
It seems like they're widening their TAM a little bit with this video.
Yes.
In terms of who they're trying to reach. So that felt like it wasn't as incredibly technological advanced, but some of the use cases and the vibes and the onboarding flow was quite easy, you know. You maybe not need to be like a tech.
I was like, oh, please, can you do this for me? Whatever. Anyway, a tweet from Ajaz. Anthropic killed it again. Biggest AI product launch of the year so far. Claude can now control your entire computer autonomously. Anything you can do on a computer, Claude can. Your very own digital employee. This guy must be being paid by Claude or Anthropic. Any app, browser, file, spreadsheet, tool, Claude can intelligently access and operate. Claude controls your entire screen like a human. No connectors. This is a huge step in intelligence. The best part, you can text Claude to do things from your phone and it'll work on your computer. In the last week, Anthropic has shipped 9 features that have built up to this, a fully automated digital human. Unreal.
You get 1.5 mil on that.
He says this, but OpenClaw, I think there was a tweet. I think he actually posted a tweet, but OpenClaw haven't released anything for the last like 9 days or something. And so like they must be, and like every other day,
as in,
or
like
every
their
day
X account.
On their X account. No. On, I can't remember what. I assume, I don't know what, GitHub or something. But they haven't like released any updates in the past like X amount of 6 days, I think it was, or maybe 9 days or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're saying, when they launch something new, it's going to be like big.
When OpenClaw launched something new, it seems like they've just been swallowed into the black hole that is OpenAI.
Well, yeah.
Because Steinberg is always on a rampage. Like,
well, it's still different, right? It's still
like what was it? I saw him do like someone was like, hey, like struggling with this, would love some feedback or something. And he was like, do not at me with like stupid requests. like with like time wasting requests like that. Like just absolutely fried this guy alive. And then the guy replied like, yeah, a couple other people came in and was like chill, dude. Like he was just asking me a question. And then the guy replied, who got fried, and was like, leave him alone. Like he was just answering my question. It was pretty nuts. He's like garnered this almost like cult-like following. But he could have just not replied, you know. He doesn't have to, you know, publicly destroy this guy online. But yeah,
he did something else this morning that I'm trying to find now. I'm trying to find. He basically was like, yeah. So someone said something super like positive about. Oh, maybe it was this. Oh no, maybe not. Someone said something like super positive about OpenClaw, and Peter Steinberger just replied and was like, wrong. Please stop spreading misinformation about OpenClaw. Oh, it was like, OpenClaw had been bought by OpenAI or something, and then it was like super positive about OpenClaw, something about the fact that OpenClaw had been bought by OpenAI, whatever. And he was like, wrong. Stop spreading misinformation. OpenClaw is like an independent foundation of whatever. Yeah, it isn't owned by OpenAI or something.
Yeah. He's like, they bought me instead.
He just like fully fried him.
Yeah. He's ruthless. He'll like do not ask him like. Yeah.
Don't ask him to do anything
because he'll just. Yeah.
When we invited him on the show, I gave him a few football tickets to a team as a bribe to get him on.
He was not keen.
He was like, are these soccer tickets? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, I don't like soccer.
He was like, why would you send me? Oh, sorry, dude.
Sorry, man. Apologies for that. Anyway, let's keep moving on. Framer, build better sites faster. The all-in-one platform where enterprise teams design, build, ship production-ready websites. No dev handoff, no bottlenecks, no creative compromises. Go to framer.com/ETN to go and build your site. We used it. It was pretty easy.
Talking about building.
Go to etnshow.co because, it looks super, super nice and it was built on Framer. So happy days. Anyway.
Here we have an OpenAI X Van Cleef. This is from Jeff in Venice. That's
clean.
At Jeff in Venice, to be precise. Would you buy that?
I would not buy that.
You wouldn't buy that?
Would
you wear it?
No.
Really? I'd probably flex.
It depends. If I'm going to like I was going to say a hackathon. Not going to go to hackathon anytime. Although I got invited to judge a hackathon the other day.
Oh god, that is good. Oh wait, tell the hackathon judging story because it's so funny.
Well, I got invited to judge a hackathon. They were like, "Hey man, like, do you want to come to a hackathon?" I was like, "I've never been to a hackathon in my life, and I've never shipped a line of code other than Claude, in which I've probably shipped quite a lot, but never written a line of code." I was like, "It's probably not the place do you want me?" And he was like, "No, I want you to judge it. You have good taste." And I was
really? Oh, interesting.
He was like, "Your taste is OP."
Your taste is OP. Your taste is OP.
So
that's awesome.
I mean, to be honest, like, taste is the only moat.
Dude, I concur. Your taste is OP.
You don't need to ship anything anymore.
Your taste is OP. Going back to
if you've got Claude code, sorry, go on. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to cut you off. I was saying like, but your taste is OP, but you're saying that you wouldn't wear this unless you were going to a hackathon.
Maybe when I go and judge this hackathon, because I said I would do it. I was like,
you can like rub your hands together, maybe.
Yeah, I was like, screw
it,
I'll come.
Wearing it. And then everyone can see that, oh my god, that's the OpenAI Van Cleef. Like,
yeah.
Make sure it looks really good for him. He's coming around.
Or when I'm judging, I can just be like, ooh.
You can quite literally just like judge them for their, look at that. And they'll see this dangling.
I can bracelet max them.
Yeah. Well, if you wear that, I think you can do whatever
Plus
you want.
my base watch, when I get the base watch and, swap these things, this thing out.
Axel, we need those base watches, man. Especially if you're watching, judging hackathons.
If you're watching, I'll be flying it around the world doing hackathons.
Please send us a couple of those. We need to get them
on. Would you buy that?
Would I buy it? I probably wouldn't buy it. I'd wear it if it was given to me for free. I think it's a nice like tech aside, I think it's a nice accessory.
I think it's cool. And I mean, it's nice. Like from, first glance, it's nice, right? But anything other than that, I would never wear that. If someone came to me and was wearing that in a meeting, I think that's super weird.
You wouldn't take him seriously.
Nah.
That's fair.
It's nice. I wish it looked, it would look cool, but it's just not cool. It's nice, but it's not cool. There you go. That's my take.
Okay, that's the take. Yeah. It might look a bit too intense.
Well, it's just like, all right, mate, you've got,
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, exactly. Also, it's not even the best. AI hyperscaler. So what are you gonna do?
Rather like a little Anthropic bracelet.
I'd bang a Claude bracelet.
Claude.
Make that a Claude bracelet. You've got yourself a buyer.
Look, none of it's going to compare to Mirko's Dash Zero full
true,
race
that's
onesie
true.
that I'll be wearing live on stream.
Indeed.
Once he sends over.
Just as a quick thing, that got 400,000 less views than someone's live being saved by Neuralink. It's rough.
That got 400 less.
400 less, but
Well,
only
Neuralink
400k.
guy
Only
got
400k.
less.
Not that much.
Yeah, it's close.
During the weekend, this ripped through ripped through the town square. Greg Eisenberg came out on X and said, "You shouldn't be allowed to be a VC if you haven't worked or built a startup. I don't know why this would be controversial." Dan Gray had a really good reply to this and said, "Former founders underperform professional VCs. The best coaches weren't former players." I've also put Carl Harrison in there because he had a good take as well. He reposted and said, "Some of the greatest VCs in the last 20 years didn't work at a startup. Jim Breyer, Peter Fenton, Bill Gurley, Mary Meeker, Neil Shen, Lee Fixel, Josh Wolf, etc. Being a good investor is defined by temperament it's defined more by temperament than background."
Yeah.
And then he puts the best estimate for the Midas list top 100 breaks down roughly as follows: 35 to 42% have had operator and founder backgrounds. 25 to 35% are traditional finance backgrounds, investment banking, hedge funds, whatever, PE. And then 20 to 30% are other paths like engineering at large companies, journalists, whatever, career VCs from MBAs. So pretty spread bet, most of which are founder backgrounds. You can imagine why. If you've sold a company, you go and invest the money that you've made as an angel. You go and become an LP of a fund. You use the network that you've built throughout building that company to create your own fund and be the GP of that fund and have your own LPs. It obviously works well. I mean, we had Ches Anglander on last week, and he said, so the reason why he built Model ML was because he was an investor after he sold, I think it was Fancy in 2019. Was an investor for like whatever, but built like the AI system behind his investment like whatever family office, however he was deploying capital, and was like, this is broken. Why are we doing this? Like, let's just sell this, or let's sell this to other finance, venture companies, venture firms, and other high finance firms. Ended up doing that, raised $100 million, and now is a multi-million pound company.
Yeah, huge. On this debate, I think there's like both. I think both sides are fair. Define like what that actually means. Some people kind of believe that the investor's job is just to give you money. A good investor is an investor that gets good returns. They do that by just backing the right people at the right time. With the right amount of capital. I think maybe some other people would argue like an investor is meant to be sort of like helping you along the way. They're meant to be hands-on. They're meant to be doing intros. They're meant to be like maybe have some sort of like expertise in that domain. Something that we're seeing a lot more prevalently now that we're seeing these micro funds that might be like hyper verticalized, what we discussed earlier with Street Capital and their recent Fund 3. But it's what I think annoys people sometimes is when, let's say you raise money from an investor and they're in your way, like they're trying to be helpful maybe, but they're kind of just in your way, and you don't want them to like slow you down, but they're trying to be helpful because they think they should be helpful. But it's always like, well, I think I'd move.
Surely, if you're a good founder, you just tell them to get out of the way.
Yeah. Which you can do.
Hey man,
but like some,
or hey, whatever, you've given me your capital.
Yeah, thanks.
Go away.
Yeah. But I think
in a nice way, obviously, but like, you know.
Yeah, obviously paraphrase.
Yeah.
In a nice way. But I feel that, I think a definition on like what is a good investor is needed to take a side.
There isn't unless you're looking at absolute return values, DPI.
Okay. Maybe that's a definition, right? And then it wouldn't really mean. But then again, I guess you could argue that like if they're really good and they are hands-on and they are like they previously built a startup or a company, their hands-on experience and help can help them succeed, therefore increase their returns as well. So, yeah, I guess there's both like there's both sides here. I think in my mind, like they don't have to have worked in a startup or built a company, but I would probably say like if that's the case, I wouldn't heed their advice with certain like specific industry related things that I'd be building in, like because they don't have any skin in the game.
Well, don't take advice from people who've never been there before, right?
Yeah.
Similar thing. Anyway, before we have our next guest on, Robert at Laminar, Base, the infrastructure of the on-chain world. Base is built to empower builders, creators, and people everywhere to build apps, grow businesses, create what they love, and earn on-chain. Go to base.org. Axel's going to give us a nice watch, so I can do that during the ad read next time.
Want to flash the watch?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Not this one, the Base one.
Let's go. We love that.
Before we have our next guest on, Robert Kim. Oh no, he's here.
We have him joining right now.
Hello, Robert. Can you hear us?
Let's go, dude. Welcome to the European Technology Network. How are you? Nice. Yeah. That's an awesome setup. Okay, cool. We just got the word that you are.
Are you in London?
Live on air.
Yeah, we're in Liverpool Street. Are you in London too, or where are you?
Yeah. We're near King's Cross.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's quite nearby.
Yeah.
There you go. Fun times,
dude. Welcome to the show. Thank you for making time for us today. Maybe to kick off, like we'd love to maybe an intro. What is your role? What is your company?
Yeah, and congrats on the seed round as well. You just announced it 6 days ago? Is that right?
We announced 6 days ago. We raised quite some time ago. Yeah, it's usually how it happens. I'm Robert. We're building Laminar. Laminar essentially solves the problem of let's start the problem. AI agents are finally working. They're going to production. They work for a long time. They're solving complex tasks. Like for you right now, right? Not just demos and so on. And the more complex the task is, the longer the agent works, and the harder it is to debug essentially, right? And now multiply it by what people love to call like swarm of agents, like hundreds of thousands of agents working at the same time. Like you get like just ginormous mess of like not understanding of what's happening, why it breaks, like even not knowing like whether it breaks or not, So this is the core problem that we solve. We literally tell you why, when, and how often your agent breaks, what's behavior is good, what behavior is bad, and so on and so forth. Yeah, this is like into words. Like we essentially help you to actually build more reliable AI software.
Yeah. I wanted to start off with a question that's like fairly high level, but as the human in this loop, that's the classic kind of question where it's like, what is going to happen with the human in the loop, right? Where they're essentially just reviewing everything that an agent is doing. I wanted to ask you, I think you're in obviously a great position to answer. Where do you think all of that will go? Where do you think the human will be within that loop? If agents are going to be running, you have a swarm of agents and they run maybe for 40 minutes now, but in 2 months they'll be running for 3 hours nonstop or whatever. Where do you think that human will be in that loop to help and
Yeah, I would say, so like right now, people still I would say in the vast majority of the cases, really involved, as I said, not only in development, right, but in debugging and understanding of what's happening. So humans are pretty much in the loop all the time. But the problem is that, as you said, like when the transport like hours, 3 hours, 10 hours, or whatever, like there are like limitation in amount of data that humans can process, right? And if a transport takes like for 3 hours, it produces ton of data. You really have no idea like when it fails. So I would say in this case, the best combination would be human plus AI, and that's what exactly we are doing, right? We're giving a specific set of tools to developers that debug this like long-running agents to quickly understand and like what's happening, why it went wrong, out of like huge ginormous like, let's say, transcripts of what agent was doing, right? So humans will be in the loop, but they will be aided with tools like ours, essentially, to help them properly understand and process all of this data, right? Because like essentially what AI does at the very core, I would say it multiplies the like in some sense intelligence and the and they just like explodes in scale, right? But the essentially the main bottleneck will become, okay, where to look at first, where because like you have like hundreds of thousands of agents running, and like some of them fail. Like where should look first, right? You wouldn't be able like to obviously look at everything. So like that's what I'm saying. Like AI plus humans, right? Like I wouldn't essentially cut out humans at all, right? They will be there 100%, but aided with proper tools.
Yeah. That makes sense. And what I guess like it's follow on from that question. What sort of appetite is there for this? Like, what's the ICP in terms of like who you guys are trying to sell to? Is it large enterprise incumbents that are sort of building out these sort of agentic swarm type things, or would you say it's more sort of startup focused for now? Like, what's the appetite like?
I would say both, but in different proportion. Yeah, I would say a vast majority is the new upcoming, like I would say, agent first companies who like specifically focus on building agents like Browser Use or OpenHands, like let's say Ride.com and others, or huge ginormous enterprises that they cannot like name yet, that's building internally like very complex agents. Like think agents which understand your transactions to give some hints. But yeah, essentially everything that involves a complex task that's being solved by an agent. This is a perfect customer. And right now it's split. It's not 50-50. It's more like a vast majority are like smaller to medium startups and a few like ginormous enterprises, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys like have you spoke to anyone we're seeing now like a lot more companies building software for agents, whether it's like an inbox for your agent or a wallet for your agent? Are you guys like, does that come into your scope? Like, how are you thinking about that world where people are building software for agents?
Yeah, like we're distributing for this world. We like our platform is designed in such a way that everything is scurable, right? Like why APIs, why CLIs, why MCPs, and so on. So people, what they do right now, they connect data that we have, that we process, that we found, and so on, to their coding agents, with which they build their like let's say like payment processing agents, for example.
Yeah.
Right. So now we have this continuous loop of there's like long-running pages running somewhere. They do great, they do bad. We catch this, we collect all the data, we analyze this stuff, and then the coding agents like Cloud Code, Course Codex, or whatnot, they pull all this data, then they say, hey, okay, 10% of the cases this went wrong. Okay, let's fix this, and so on and so forth. And then they push new updates to these agents, and they run and so on and so forth. Right? So we essentially provide the data to coding agents to improve the agents of our customers. You know, we are huge proponents of this. We have a bunch of interesting kind of release actually made specifically for this. Like I would go into details, but like I'm 100% on this train.
Nice, yeah. It seems to be like a really cool area that people are getting very excited for. Yeah, it's almost greenfield as well because it's only sort of. I mean, the software for agents type stuff is very greenfield.
Everybody was super big on the MCPs for like past, I'd say, like 8 months or something, and now we see like a huge demand for like CLIs, literally like using CLIs instead of MCPs. So like you don't know what happened like in 2 months, right? Like it's everything is changing, and that's why it's an extremely exciting field to be in, especially at this infrastructure layer, and not only like we say like consumer and product layer, because we more or less like sit back and we win like in either cases, whatever will happen, like whatever the standards will become, because we're sitting at the very core, like also like core infrastructure. Like I mean, like you will inevitably want to understand what's happening with your agents. Like no matter are you building it with the like certain frameworks, certain model providers or whatnot, right? Like the I mean, like it changed so fast. That's why we decided like deliberately to be at the core infrastructure level. So like if you have something to say or
no, this is fascinating.
Yeah, it's good. I wanted to ask about the all of these companies that aren't building at the core infrastructure and they're kind of the layer above. There's always talk about kind of the moat and all of that kind of stuff, and these companies are, one product update from Claude or Gemini or whatever away from dying. What would you say about the moat of building in that kind of core infrastructure layer of AI and where I guess Lamina is like sitting?
Yeah, I mean like that's ties to what I've been talking about before, because we don't specifically like, let's say, like lock in on solving like I don't know, like AI GTM, right?
Yeah.
Which I would say like Anthropic or any other like large labs would inevitably want to go into in some way or another, right? We are more or less protected from that. I would say like the essential problem is, I mean for us, is if one lab or like one model provider will like 100% dominate, right? Like let's say like Anthropic has the best models, like period, right? Nobody uses everything else except Anthropic, and inevitably Anthropic will become and will go and like build their own version of Lamina, I would say, like in-house, and sell to the customers and so on and so forth. But this feature is like I'll say like there's, I would say like zero probability of this happening, but like it's very unlikely, right? Like because like OpenAI is in the game, Anthropic is in the game, a bunch of others, Google especially is in the game, right? So and our biggest advantage is that we can serve all of the customers that use all of those different models, right? As long as there's competition between the labs for the best models, for the best like intelligence, for the cheapest intelligence, and so on, like there will be businesses which gonna essentially multiplex between all of those model providers, right? Like I was that's I would say like maybe it's a mode of companies like a Cursor and others that can super easily switch between models. Maybe code is a bit dominated by Anthropic right now, but I say like it's dominated like for now, right? OpenAI will come up with even better model, even cheaper model. Everybody will switch to that model, and so on and so forth. Essentially, like as long as there's competition between core model providers, we are really in a really good space, right? There's going to be competition. Like the core businesses will be the ones which provide really nice, I would say, like software package, really nice, what would be like I love to call like model harness that can properly multiplex between different model providers, and we're gonna serve all of these customers who like gonna use one model or another model or another model or another one, right? Because like if let's say Anthropic will become we'll want to release like their version of Laminar, people who are gonna use that, they're gonna be locked into Anthropic, right? And what if like OpenAI will release even better model or something else? Like you wouldn't want to lose this core infrastructure, right? So that's why people go to providers like ours.
Also, as models are getting better and better, you guys benefit from that. I think, like
because the software, like the better the models are, the more
the less of a moat they have.
No, I mean, yes, but like the more complex software becomes, right?
Yeah.
Like devs go and push frontier even harder and harder, right? Like let's say like Claude Opus 4.6 is really good at writing code. Now we want to like make sure that like writes like entire like ginormous applications, right? Like Salesforce from scratch, right? Or something like, I mean, it's a really like high in the end example, but I mean, you know what I mean, right? Like the better models are, the more like push from the devs to the like the complexity of tasks that is like one will be able to solve will be, right? So that means the harder it is going to be to understand what's happening, why it fails, what's going on, and so on and so on and so forth. And there's going to be even more demand for products like Laminar, right? That's why we're betting so hard on models getting better, software getting around this more complex but extremely valuable, right? And at the same time, extremely hard to develop, you know?
Yeah, hell yeah. Where can we, like, we're literally just coming up to the end now, where can we send people, like, where can we, like website or like products are live right now?
Laminar.sh, register. We have many different tiers. It's free to get started. We are fully open source. Fork it, modify however you want, self-host anywhere, or use our cloud version. We have exceptionally good product. It's extremely fast, super polished. We deeply care about quality and so on and so forth. Just like use it, try it out. Based in London, come visit our office if you want. It's bigger than this. Like there's a bunch of other stuff.
Love it.
So cool.
Dude,
thanks
thank you so much.
Thanks for jumping on.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Having me. Yep. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Cheers.
See you soon.
Cheers out.
Before we have our next guest on, Framer Build Better Sites Faster, the all-in-one platform where enterprise teams design, build, and ship production-ready websites. No dev handoff, no bottlenecks, no creative compromises. Go to framer.com/ETN. Next on the show, we have the 60X boys in Charlie and Fergus. I think Fergus is in. Can you hear us? How's it going?
Let's
Love
go.
It. There we go. Always fun. We'll wait for. I think Charlie was in the stream for like.
We saw him pop up.
Oh, there he is.
He's coming back. Here he is now. Yeah, it just kind of throws you in live. But guys, thanks for jumping on. We've been pumped for this. Keen to dig into everything. Maybe means of introductions, just sort of for the stream, who you are, what is 60X, and we can go from there.
Why don't you go?
Boom. Let's go. That's a good start.
Nice. Yeah, pretty crack team we've got over here. Hi both. Charlie Cheeseman, so co-founder of 60X. Previously spent several years working with the FTSE 100 at AEY. Sort of wrote a lot of AI strategies, and then and then moved into the development space. Built, launched, and sold a company in 20 hours was the one of the fun things we did. Founded Unicorn Mafia, and then ended up co-founding 60X with Ferg, and now building for the enterprise.
Boom, love it. I think I can
Got
hear.
some echo.
Are you guys getting that as well? Some feedback?
I was getting distracted. Let's see.
No, all good. Let's just see if we can.
I think we're good now.
Quickly.
Okay.
Oh, we've got. Okay, fine. We've got separate things. We got producer Marcus. You guys know Marcus, don't you?
We do know.
Marcus. Oh.
Yeah. He's sorting things out right now. The guys say hey.
Okay.
Yeah, he's helping sort out the issues right now.
We're just checking. Can we do 2 or is it? Yeah, just you one. Yeah, we can do 2. Okay, good. Happy days. He is just sorting out the echo because we have 2 feeds on, so it's rare that we have 2 guests on at the same time. We have done it in the past and it does work, but usually we have one. But we wanted to try and make this work. We haven't had problems with it in the
we haven't.
past. It's been clean.
Where are you guys? Where are you? Are you in London? Where are you guys based?
Yeah, in London.
Nice. Plans to build in London. We've got a bunch of questions, but we can wait until. Do you guys have a hard stop at past? You guys, where?
No.
Okay, cool. We'll wait just while I guess I don't really know what to do.
Like a rough ETA, like minute, 2 minute, 3 minute.
1 minute. Okay, 1 minute.
Countdown. Okay.
We'll wait here.
Before we
While
do
we wait for that, leave our business banking behind with Airwallex, the all-in-one financial platform built for the pace of modern business, multi-currency accounts, corporate cards, expense management, online payments, all-in-one platform. Go to airwallex.com. That was quicker than a minute. Okay,
boom,
I think
we're
good.
live.
In the meantime.
Okay, hold on. I think we are good.
For the pace of
I'm just
business,
checking
multi-currency
the
accounts, corporate cards,
stream.
expense
Let me mute that there. Can you guys just say hello again and just see it on the audio?
Hello.
I think that's good. Is that an echo or not?
No, I'm still getting echo.
Oh, so are we.
Sorry, boys.
Oh no, this is on us.
I'm still getting an echo on one. I'm getting an echo on Ferg, but not Charlie.
Okay, let's
Stream's
just run
fine.
it.
Okay, let's just run it. Anyway, let's talk about 60X. Let's talk about agentic finance generally. Talk to us about the enterprise adoption. We've had a bunch of people building in this space, and they've said it's kind of like do or die for a lot of these firms. Talk to us a little bit about what you're seeing in the adoption of 60X from customers specifically. What are the meetings like? And then I guess about what does agentic finance look like now and where it's going?
So I think the main thing we're seeing is that people are deploying a lot of POCs. So they're deploying like these small systems just to test the waters. Is this going to work? Are we going to see an ROI here of this system? And then using that to establish sort of an internal level of confidence as to whether they should perform a complete transformation of their business in terms of like how the information is managed, how the data is stored, and migrating then from siloed data, boxed all across the organization and not connected together, which is then very difficult to use with AI, to a consolidated, a unified sort of data ontology. But the issue is when they deploy lots of little POC systems, little automation here, a little automation there, they actually create more silos. So then it kind of makes the problem worse. In the process of building confidence for a larger transformation, they actually walk the opposite way away from it. And that's something we've seen quite often.
Nice. And this is like, I get building on that. Like, is this a case of like you guys are having to educate them on how to, like, do they even know what they need? Most of these sort of like legacy sized enterprise companies, or is it like, hey, look, we need something. This is it specifically, and they'll like walk. With
They're buying the
it.
outcome. They're not necessarily buying.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. I think, you sort of hit on the word, which is outcome, which is exactly what we sell. We sell AI outcomes and are very clear on doing that. We sort of have very high confidence in our tech capability, which is why we're then able to back engineer it from that. But yeah, exactly to your point is people don't, they sort of have this general sense of like, we need to do something on AI, but we don't really know what it is. And so one of our differentiators is that we can take people through that end-to-end process of, okay, like you've got this question, like, what do you want your AI strategy to be? So we'll run this process of sort of understanding the organization and going through the research process. And then we can actually go and procure and build all of the pieces with some of the latest tech, including solving a lot of the like key problems that people are falling into at the moment, particularly around like all of their data is in these different silos. So you've got it in your CRM, you've got it in your AI note taker, you've got it in Outlook and all of these things. And then nobody's able to bring that into one place and then like provide you a single source of truth on your data. So that end-to-end piece is really why, like really where we're sitting and how we're differentiating ourselves.
Mm-hmm. And I guess that brings onto the way you guys price stuff. How is kind of pricing changing when you guys are just, you know, I guess you're pricing it on the outcome, right? How does that change? You know, how these customers are kind of thinking about, oh, you know, we want this. Once you've provided this, we're kind of good to go, or is it like retainer stuff? Like, how does that actually work?
You go, sorry, you go.
I think customers' expectations have been inflating for years and years and years, as they should. You know, as technology advances, people should expect more. And to the point where back in 2023, I was selling SaaS subscriptions to enterprise, and more customization requests were coming in with each subsequent customer, and we felt the need to deliver on those. And we actually found that there was a relative willingness to pay for additional customization requests. And it's just, the model was just sort of shifting in terms of, do people want a cookie cutter product that sort of works for everyone and everyone has exactly the same thing? Or do people want something that is more tailored to their exact needs? And, you know, where are they willing to compromise and how much are they willing to pay to make sure that the glove fits perfectly on the hand? And as those expectations are shifting, obviously with, you know, technological advancements, we've seen now, you know, what's possible with vibe coding. You know, you don't need to necessarily have a fully built product ready to onboard because it takes a year to build a new one. You know, development times are condensed down to a matter of months or maybe weeks, or in some cases, depending if you're building something very, very small for consumers, even a few days. So why do you need to have this giant R&D cycle in order to make something that's ready for clients? Actually, if you have the right building blocks and you have the right platform, you can onboard people very fast and still deliver a bespoke experience as they are increasingly expecting.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. And I think when we were chatting previously, like there's already like FTSE 100 companies like asking to work specifically on this. How long have you guys been doing this?
Not long. So we've been around, I think, just over 6 months, 7 months now. So we founded 1st of August 2025, so a little bit longer than that perhaps now. But yeah, we hit the ground. We hit the ground running, I guess you could say. So we've worked with the third largest company in Europe, Process. We've worked with the likes of EY. We've worked with a number of other FTSE 100 firms. And we had a bit of a kickstart. So, you know, Ferg and I have both worked in the space for a long time and sort of know a lot of the problems very deeply. And I think a lot of customers trusted us to be able to actually understand and sort of articulate like both the problem and the solution in a way that others might not be able to. And then we also, we made a lot of noise when we first kicked off as well with selling the company in 20 hours. So we had a few things that were the wind in our sails, I guess.
Was that a direct like kind of thing that you were moving into after you sold that company? It was like, okay, now let's go build the 60x off the back of that, or I can't remember how it actually worked. Or were you thinking about, or you were building that company while you were doing the 20-hour code as well? How did it actually work?
I mean, yeah, I don't think we can claim to say that it was all like terribly well thought through beforehand. It was so Ferg and I founded the company on the 1st of August. So we were actually intending to start this together before that. The selling the company in 20 hours happened on the 22nd of August or something like that. So it was actually afterwards. It was just then like this accelerant really of noise and energy and sort of impetus beyond that.
Yeah. What happened like during that? Because Luke's mentioned it to me before. I think I've seen a clip maybe of, I don't know if it was you guys explaining it or.
Was that the clip that you guys like? You launched it right, and that kind of went pretty viral.
What was that whole
Yeah,
thing?
yeah.
'Cause that was nuts. The whole thing was so well executed as well.
It was crazy, and I think we got very lucky. What was interesting, we only learned how to do launch videos the week before at a Project Europe event with Kitty Mayo. So I had to give a little bit of credit to her, because if she hadn't run this event, then at Canva actually, then none of this might have taken place. But we did this. We recorded this video on a rooftop, which I think sort of got people quite excited, and then that post completely took off. Had a load of people in the DMs, and it was sort of basically clear immediately that we'd be able to sell it. And this amazing guy, Brian, reached out. So shout out to Brian, Revel Studios, sort of building Revel AI, AI for robotics. Sort of took a punt on us and said, "Hey, I want to buy the company." And then we ended up building him a lead generation machine off the back of that. But it was just, we didn't sleep for about 3 days, I think was the story.
That's so nuts. That's such a crazy story. Yeah, because I remember seeing the video of you guys on the roof, and I remember you say you guys only learned how to do launch videos just 3 days prior. That's insane.
Have you brought any of that to 60x? Like, have you said, hey, look, we need to go and do more of this? There's a clear thing that is important here. It's helped us sell a company already. Like, how are you bringing that to 60x?
Yeah, I think, and I'll let Ferg say a little bit on this, but I think just how quickly you can now move. I mean, we are like internally, we're saying to clients that we're going to automate all of their processes. Internally, we are automating everything, like even including the things that you really didn't think you could. So, for example, even like a traditional strategy consulting piece, we're currently working on how can you take what would usually be a 6 or 8 week project and compress that into 1 week. And as soon as, like with a small team like ours, we don't have any constraints that we have to fall within. So like, we don't have to produce PowerPoint slides. Like, why can we not be producing websites instead? Or like really fundamentally rethinking some of the form factors that you're engaging with clients on. So I think that sort of speed and automation. So maybe I'll let you say a bit more.
I think we're trying to head towards the end state directly. And what we believe is the end state is a world where the only thing that humans will have to do is interact with other humans, and everything else will just be on autopilot. Anything that's, human-computer interaction, minimal interaction, just passive context collection. As you go about your day, it builds an understanding of your needs, of your wants, of your ambitions, of your strategies, and then it can just execute on your behalf, basically. So that really the thing you're focusing on is managing your relationships with other humans, because AI will never be able to automate that. And I think I'm sure we can all think of examples where people have attempted that and it hasn't gone very well. So that's ultimately going to be our primary function, is interacting with other humans. So everything else you want to have pipelined as possible, to the point where you've got very, very minimal, like even interaction points, right down to maybe a final like approval or feedback, review, approve process, something like that. And then it goes out. Now, whether it goes out to a client or an audience or a customer, it goes out somewhere. It leaves the organization. But that's the end state that we are moving towards, and we're trying to create that internally as fast as possible, to then build the understanding to make sure that we can accurately guide clients towards the same end state.
Let's talk about the internals of the company in terms of hiring and all of that kind of stuff. Obviously, there's been things on X and social media about very kind of large CEOs firing a lot of their staff and what's happening with hiring. You mentioned that it's a pretty kind of lean team. I assume that's partly because of the automation. What actually has changed with the automation and how you guys are thinking about building the company internally and hiring? Are you thinking more about do we actually need to hire this person? What are you looking for when you're hiring someone? Is it just obviously like they have to be AI native in terms of being able to build stuff and automations, but pretty open-ended question, but yeah, what are the internals looking like?
I think probably Charlie will agree. One of the biggest criteria we look at is vibes. Is this going to be someone that we really, really want to work with? Is this someone that we see ourselves being best friends with? And if that criteria is met, normally everything else falls into place, I think. The world definitely rewards generalists more than it rewards specialists right now. If you think we've got access to AI models that, looking at humanity's last exam as a very famous benchmark, it's PhD level reasoning in every single discipline. So if you've got access to a PhD in everything, do you need that much subject matter expertise in any given area anymore? Well, I think it's better to have a broad understanding of everything a little bit. So I think that's probably one angle, maybe in terms of, actual sort of experience, but vibes are very important. I don't know. Do you want to add anything, Charlie?
Yeah, I mean, I think, so there's two aspects to this. There's one, which is the hiring that's taking place in the market, and the other, which is the hiring in 60X. You've seen a lot of people fire large swathes of the organization. I mean, my personal take on that is that people are basically trying to free up cash for the AI infrastructure spend. Like, that seems to be this like quite clear flow from people to data centers. We aren't seeing that sort of quite to the same degree in our clients. I mean, there is this big question. So we come in and we deliver these AI outcomes for you, and you get a ton of time back. You can either improve the quality of the process, or you can make it way faster, and that then gives you a lot of agency. What do you do with that time is a bit of a strategic question that we then ask the clients for. But typically what they're doing, like, if we think about some of the private equity or consulting clients that we're working with now, they're doing more of what they are currently doing with the same team, rather than looking to sort of downsize or anything like that. If you're a private equity company and you can cover the entire market, or indeed multiple markets, but whereas before you could only do 1/10, you're definitely going to do that, because that's going to improve your overall return. With respect to 60X, we're looking at how to be fully AI enabled in everything we do. I think we're benefiting from being a small team and sort of how quickly we can reorient our processes as we build that. But yeah, we want people who are generally sort of tech savvy, AI native, fun to be around, and are sort of able to move quickly. Is the story.
Nice. You love to hear it. You heard it here first as well. I guess where can we send people? Where can we point viewers to? I guess website. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, so
I was going to say our hiring email is lfg@60x.ai.
You should have led with that last time.
On brand.
Yeah. I mean, check out unicornmafia.ai. So we both run this community.
Yeah.
So yeah, London-based developers, very hot. Some very, very cool people in there doing some cool things. So I suspect there'll be a lot of unicorns built out of that over the next few years. Come and check us out. If you're looking for enterprise help with enterprise AI, then 60x.ai is our website. Come and check us out there.
Boom. There you go. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate the time.
Cheers, boys. Ciao.
Good stuff. See you soon.
Have a good one.
Bye. Awesome stuff. Leave that David business banking behind with Airwallex, the all-in-one financial platform built for the pace of modern business, multi-currency accounts, corporate cards, expense management, online payments, all-in-one platform. Go to airwallex.com. Yeah, co-founder of 60X. Completely forgot to talk about but yeah, go to Unicorn Mafia. They're pretty cool. If you're in London, you're a developer. Probably the best community to go to for
all the developer stuff you need.
All the developer stuff.
Let's talk about Daniel Radcliffe. Sorry, not Ratcliffe.
Ratcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe, aka Harry Potter, instead of spending his money, actually invested his money. And now he makes $660,000 a month just from investment returns.
Yeah.
Probably ETF, speculates at levels.io.
If we go to Zane's tweet first.
Yeah, this
got 5.5 million views. That's bonkers. Went to my second ever Broadway show the other week, and it was a one-man performance by Daniel Radcliffe, aka Harry Potter. He spent 20 minutes before every show handing out props and recruiting people to interact with him during the show. Never seen someone so dialed in. Was an amazing performance, 1.5 hours straight, no intermission. He does this night after night, did some math with Claude, and he probably makes $50K a week, which is great money, but still considerably less than what he would make for a movie role. His parents also helped him invest in his Harry Potter earnings well, and he makes $660K 50K a month just off investments. UK companies are required to make full financial disclosures, very different from the US, but very useful for this kind of pocket watching, which means he never has to work again. He just continues to do this for the love of the game. These kind of in-person experiences and acts of passion are one of the few things that can't be replaced by AI. Oh, and also he does not like it when you call him Harry or bring up his old movies. Ask me, how I know.
Ask me how I know. Really cool piece here. I guess this is like it's nice to see somebody just doing it for the love of the game.
Yeah.
He could be out.
He's a bit like
maybe applying for
like
June 3.
Chaz Anglander,
Yeah. Just doing it for the love of the
building
game.
ML. He doesn't care. He's like, I would sell all my stock. I'm just doing this for the love of the game.
He's
I
just
just
straight
love the
up.
competition.
And you can see here in this video, he's like in. He's dialed in. I'm not sure if sound is working. It is not, but you can see. Oh, there we go.
You're old as a couple. Exactly. There you go. So what I'm going to do is, are you an old couple?
He's getting up close and personal.
Are you an old couple?
Are you an old couple? He asks. And then this one, he's just like giving them props, and I'm not sure it's gonna load.
Mate, he does look dialed, to be fair.
He looks a bit wired actually, but he looks dialed in. And this is, it's so good to see. This is someone who's like, not jumping for more cash. I mean, he was smart enough to just. His parents as well, smart enough to just make sure that all of his money is just sat in some sort of like nice yield ETFs, making 7 or 8%, 7 to 10% a year. And it's just money's doing the work for him.
Well, he's just doing what he loves. There you go. It's got the levels.
It's quite poetic, actually.
Huh?
It's quite poetic in a way,
Yeah, very poetic. Yeah. It's got the levels IO stamp, great work, 10 out of 10, clapping hands emoji. Essentially a perfect FIRE. You know FIRE?
Yeah.
Financial independence, retire early.
Perfect FIRE.
Yeah. I think it's like if you work out your number, whatever you want to spend per month, if you're spending 4% of your net worth a year, you're good. Like you're never gonna run out of money. And
Of
4% of your yearly income.
With holding assets.
Oh no, so it's 4% of your net worth.
Yeah.
You can spend that, and your assets will like appreciate / stay the same. Like they won't go down. Like they won't.
Okay, I
won't
thought you
lose
meant like
money.
all your cash that's just sat in your bank.
No.
I was like, well, mathematically, you probably would lose money. Like,
No. I mean everything you own. 4% of all the cash or investments that you own. Mostly, I assume they'll be in ETFs. If you spend 4% of that every year, you're good.
That makes sense. Oh, so that's the level that you can kind of operate on.
So it's like if you're again public math, but if you want 2K a month, you have to have a portfolio. Of whatever.
Just like that's 4% of your total portfolio. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Damn. Okay. Well, I need to find out what my number is.
And Sam Parr's good at that.
Only spend for. Oh, that was the thing. Yeah, Sam Parr and Sean used to cover the FIRE stuff loads on MFM.
Yeah, they did. Anyway, let's move on to Meek Mill. Meek Mill says Claude AI is helping him organize his music career and businesses just days after joining LinkedIn, where he says someone gave him an incredible template. What even is that? Some tech young bull I met on LinkedIn gave me an incredible template. Who else can help me with Claude?
So he's changed the LinkedIn profile as well. This is his official LinkedIn. We should probably send him a connection request. Whoever's done this is pending. Meek brackets Robert Williams Mill looking to build out and make business connections that's aligned with Meek Mill, Dream Chasers and Bike Life brand. Also connect more about criminal justice reform. I'm also nice at creating tech ideas. Meek Millie, self-employed, based in Pennsylvania. Shout out to Meek, trying to get some self-improvement going on, trying to expand his knowledge.
His network.
Love to see this. Claude is helping me organize my whole music career and other business in days. And it's moving my business forward at a high rate. Some tech young bull I met on LinkedIn gave me an incredible template. Who else can help me with Claude? This comes not just like a week, maybe, or 2 weeks after Meek Mill tweeted out that it's like OpenClaw's internal reasoning log is leaking. And everyone was like, hold up, Meek Mill. Like, forgive me, I wasn't familiar with your game.
But I just connected with him. He's got 78 connections.
Oh, really? Is that the real Meek Mill? Do we know, or is this now someone touring? We don't know, but Luke's gonna find out.
He's got no, he doesn't have any contact info listed. He's
reaching out.
self-employed. He's posting every day. He's on the posting.
What are the posts? Are they
Okay,
like
so
Meek
his
Mill
first post is starting my LinkedIn journey as an artist. I've dedicated much of my time to honing my creative skills. Now I'm ready to transition into the business world and showcase my true potential. For too long, others have spoken on my behalf, but now I am taking the reins and speaking for myself, supported by a strong team. Recently, I showcased Dreams and Nightmares in Philadelphia. I will be posting more content and business ideas to demonstrate the strength of brand and my thought process. Pretty good.
How did it do?
95 likes.
Okay. Launch post. Not bad. First one.
Then there's one there's one of him, with I don't know what that is. I think it's his music video. He's put his music video in there. He's done one that's 175 likes. He's getting there.
Getting there, climbing up. We saw Eric Turenberg commented, A16Z new media team has seen this, and I'm sure that they are trying to work on something with Meek Mill, which I, for one, would love to see.
That would be cool. A16Z back Meek Mill.
Meek Mill collab.
That would be cool.
There are rumors now like A16Z is prepping like $100 million pre-seed term sheet for this guy right now, which is well, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't.
We will wait
to see
and see.
Meek Mill get into the tech game.
Indeed. Anyway, Framer, build better sites faster. The all-in-one platform where enterprise teams design, build, and ship production-ready websites. No dev handoff, no bottlenecks, no creative compromises. Go to framer.com/ETN. I believe we have our next guest on. Michele is in the studio, I think. Michele, can you hear us? How's it going?
Go. Welcome to the stream, dude. How are you?
All good. Hi from sunny California.
Nice and sunny. I'm trying to get a peek. We've got our blinds closed in the studio, but it looks pretty bad out here. It looks pretty horrible weather. So
Not surprised.
Sorry for making you get up early to join us, but thank you for doing it. We really appreciate it.
Of course. Excited to be here.
Awesome stuff, dude. We have so many questions to jump into. One is, if we can just jump straight into it. One for me personally that I would love to know is your role is something really unique. So not like the head of AI, but the part before that, the president. I would love to hear more about this role in particular.
I'm going to give a walkthrough. Head of AI, because I've been doing this for literally 10 years. I was a researcher at Stanford working on AI applied to source code. Then I went to Google to really start to train LLMs for code and build some of the AI products for their internal developer workforce. At a certain point, I built a demo of what became Replit Agent in 2021, and I showed it to Amjad, the CEO of Replit. This was 5 years ago. Of course, we became friends because we shared a passion. I went to Replit, built the AI team 0 to 1, and I drove all the way, the effort to launch Replit Agent in September 2024, the very first version. Mm-hmm. At that point, it became clear to us that we're an AI-first company. We have to put all our chips behind really pushing the product forward. So we sort of crafted this role, from the ground up, and I became the company president because basically I'm driving, the entire technical roadmap of the company. So today, engineering, data, security, AI, anything technical rolls up to me, as well as a few roles that give me visibility on what our users think about the product. So, I care about support, community, DevRel. I love to basically get signal about what is working well today and what I should be improving on the product.
Mm-hmm. That's so awesome. That's so cool. A sneak peek into the founding story with Amjad as well on the early days. That's really cool. Another question, I guess, related to this is the community of Replit, I guess specifically, it's something that you guys are very, very good at staying in tune with your community. You guys are very good at making a lot of noise. And the example I'll give was the recent announcement with Agent 4. The launch video for that went nuts. It was chopped up in multiple different ways. It was beautifully executed. Could you maybe talk to us about Agent 4 itself? What is... We've watched the demo video. We actually covered it on the show, I think the week it launched. What is Agent 4? What does it do? We'd love to hear it from your mouth.
I like to think of Agent4 as a new creativity platform. I know we're part of this large vibe coding umbrella, but we really put a lot of effort not to focus exclusively on app creation, but rather as a place where every user, regardless of their work or life, regardless of their background, they could come and really create any type of software artifact that they need. So of course we have a lot of focus on creating applications. That is, the most important skill that our agent can have. Mm-hmm. But think of it in this way, you're an entrepreneur, you want to test your startup idea and really do the 0 to 1. You're not only spending time creating a prototype, you want to have a slide deck to go and pitch to your investors. Maybe you want to do deep research on the web, create a memo that then you can share with your early hires so that you tell them about the competitive landscape. Maybe you want to do a marketing video. We're talking about videos of Agent4. You want to have something that you can throw on social media. Agent4 is capable of doing all of that. So we put effort in making it more general, more capable. At the same time, we also added features for what we consider our prosumers. I'm sure you're seeing how a lot of coding agents are being used today. You see these screenshots online with people running 6 of them in parallel. It kind of looks like the Matrix. There's not the kind of experience that the unknown technical user wants to have. Replit fundamentally is a tool for everyone, but we want everyone to be as powerful and as productive as the most hardcore software developer out there. So we kind of change the role of when you sit in front of Replit. You're not just a builder anymore. You're a project manager. You're in front of an interface where you can just plan and add tasks to a Kanban. So you look like a person who's dictating what the agent should be doing, and then we do all the work for you in background in parallel. So we have seen up to 10x more higher productivity because we do all the prioritization for you under the hood. And last but not least, we have something that we call an agentic canvas. So I'm sure everyone has ever used or seen design tools in their life. You have this infinite canvas, you can pan around, you can draw shapes, you can bring in stuff from a library. We took it to the next level. You can bytecode components like React, JavaScript component directly on your canvas. And then the key difference is that now you can take them, you can almost drag and drop them back into your application, and you can build them. So you can go from design into a built app in a completely seamless way. And in this way, when we do user interviews, or even when I see people internally at Replit using the product, Agent4 has been designed with Replit Agent, for example. Our designers are fully, 100% utilizing it all the time. It's a completely new experience, and I would say we still have to see everyone grasping how powerful the entire product has become. But definitely the most exciting release we've ever done.
Yeah, it's so cool, and it kind of brings me to a point I really want to ask is you're a huge proponent of like choosing the right idea, and this is like Replit's getting into a position where execution is just becoming very easy, right? And knowing what to go and build is the biggest thing. Could you add some more kind of like flavor to that? I'm super interested about your how kind of you're a proponent of what idea to build is like the most important thing right now.
I love to see subject matter experts of any kind coming up with, they already know basically the ideas that they should be working on. They've been latent in their minds for like years or sometimes decades. Yeah. We have user stories of people that told us, hey, I've been wanting to build this in the last 10, 20 years. I just didn't have time or money to go to a developer agency. When you have to work with an agency, it's not only the amount of money it takes, it's the back and forth, the amount of meetings that you need to have with them. Sometimes it can become so tiresome that a lot of good ideas don't see the light of the day for that reason. Now, Replit is something that you can power on during a weekend. You give it a try, you learn how to prompt it correctly, and then you start to see immediate results. So really the value of the ideas is becoming even more important than it was in the past. The difference is that the activation energy has become really low. You just have to get a credit card, try the product, and maybe learn how to prompt it for a couple of days, and you're good to go. Mm-hmm. It's amazing not only as a new source of income, of course. I also love it because it really helps to automate jobs of any kind. We have a lot of success stories among blue-collar workers. they're a lot of fun.
I'd love to ask about that. Like, how is this like this, I guess you can call it like the next evolution of this vibe coding world that we're in? How is that impacting people who are maybe like non-tech native using the product for their jobs, like making their own businesses, making their own money? I'd love to hear your take.
It's literally empowering everyone to be, in a sense, like more independent, or at least especially like testing ideas before understanding if you should double down and invest even more money, behind that direction. So overall, is ideas that before would have taken a lot of time and money to test, or they would have never been tested. Now they see immediately, a first step, and maybe they're put in front of other employees in a company. Imagine you're creating an internal tool. The cost of creating it and putting it in front of your employees and finding out if it helps or not has become extremely low. Before, if you had to make the choice of, maybe shelling out tens of thousands of dollars and spending several months and creating the first version of an internal tool, you would rather go out and buy a SaaS rather than trying to build it yourself. So now the order has completely flipped. And I think this trend can't really be stopped. We're just at the beginning. These are the early innings of the game. The more powerful our agent becomes, the more we are going to be hearing stories of building rather than buying.
Yeah, that makes sense. And follow on from this, like this is maybe you are better poised to answer this compared to most people, but like what does like an AGI world of vibe coding look like? Like what is the end goal, in 2028 or 2030? Like what is the point where you can kind of think, oh, it's done? Like, what is that point?
Usually I refrain from predictions because doing predictions in AI is kind of like playing Russian roulette. But I do think that I do think that the AGI for vibe coding is coming earlier than 2028. I think we're getting really close to that. We have experienced this crazy improvement in the last few months because of the latest frontier models, both coming from Anthropic and OpenAI. I would expect by the end of 2026, a lot of the core functionalities that models and agents have to have in order to become very good vibe coding workhorses will be there. So I think that the future that we're going to be seeing in, say, in a year or two is such where if you have a realistic idea that can be built with the type of product, a type of product like Replit, it's going to be possible to do it. So literally the bottleneck will become grit, determination, if you want to take the time and invest a bit of money to make it happen. And you'd be surprised that is usually the real bottleneck in life. It's not the fact that the tooling is not there. No vibe coding tool today is absolutely perfect. They all lead to some level of frustration every now and then, but the amount of creativity that they unleash is second to none. So I think even today, I think they are mature enough to create things that are absolutely shocking for the vast majority of people. I see this especially even in the bigger enterprises. They create tools that are very advanced.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to talk about the expansion story and you guys like expanding to Europe, Asia, Middle East. Talk to us a little bit about that. Talk to us. I think you're planning to grow from 350 to around 900 employees. I think I read. Talk to us about the kind of the philosophy of hiring at Replit. What kind of people are you looking for, especially like now in the world of AI, where things are just changing all the time? What do you guys look for when you're hiring?
First of all, let me set the record straight. I hope we were 350 people. We're far from that. I think we just crossed barely 200.
No
my
way.
hope is yes. We're very, very small. And
okay.
I say I hope we're gonna, we were at 350 because of course the roadmap we have in mind is so ambitious that if we were double the amount of people today, I would know exactly what each one of them will be doing. But that's our goal. I think by the end of the year we want to be definitely more than 400 at the company. And the international expansion at this point is a given because our community is really global. We see a lot of usage, in Asia, Europe, and we're also selling to a lot of enterprises. So today, we have users in 85% of the Fortune 500. So imagine that this means both large enterprises, companies as well, they embrace us across the globe. It's time for us to be closer to them. It's time for us also to have both technical talent, sales talent, across the world. And for this reason, we plan to open an office in Europe as soon as possible, as well as to have an Asian expansion. This is 2026. 2027, who knows? Too far away to make too many predictions, but I expect even more offices.
Yeah. That's Russian roulette you're playing right now again, and we're making you play it. So interesting. I love like that the B2B B2C side is something that fascinates me with vibe coding, right? Because it's not really traditional that you'd have a product that's so powerful that can kind of sit on both sides, right? It sounds like there's a lot of enterprise adoption. What's that been like since the inception of the company? I imagine that it was predominantly sort of like consumer focused at first, and then as things have scaled and you've understood the product a bit more and where it can go, then there's been like an enterprise rollout following that. Like, what's that sort of split looking like at Replit?
Look, the DNA of the company has always been to target the B2C market, to be a mass consumer product. And that is really embedded in the company mission, which is empowering the next billion software creators. Yeah. It goes without saying that a lot of those creators happen to be working in companies eventually. So many of them start as hobbyists. They have a side project, they want to create another source of income, and then they realize that they could have brought Replit at work to get a project done much faster than before. Many of them are, of course, not software engineers. They were product managers, designers. They tend to be usually the early adopters of a product like ours, and now they're capable of doing a 0 to 1 of a functional prototype. And that led to creating more revenue for their company. That often led to them getting promoted because they got done much more than their manager expected. So there was this arbitrage opportunity, in a sense, in front of them. And the moment that happened, though, other colleagues realized what they were using and how powerful it was. So our enterprise growth has been very much organic, to the extent that we were selling to them already when we didn't have a sales team at all. Now we start to have a proper sales team, a CRO, where we're growing really fast in that direction. But our SLG in 2025 were almost casual, I would say.
Yeah, it's so interesting to hear about the split. We've got 1 minute left. I would say usually we say to people that come on, like, where can we send people? How can we help with like revenue or directing traffic? But I mean, Replit has raised 400 million at 9 billion valuation. So I think you guys are good.
That's true.
Good stuff.
It feels like we kind of figured it out. Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely have figured it out. I can't say where can we send people because everyone's already heading to Replit anyway. But Michele, thank you for coming on to the show. It's been awesome, and we'd love to have you back on sometime. And next time we won't make you play Russian roulette live on the show.
All right, I'll do my best. Thanks, guys. Thanks for inviting me.
Cheers. Have a good one.
Cheers. Great to be.
Awesome stuff. Up next on the show, we have Ben Serra, founder of Polsia, who's been taking over the timeline recently with just insane revenue growth.
Before we have Ben on, the infrastructure of the on-chain world base is built to empower builders, creative and people wherever they build apps, grow businesses, create what they love, and earn on-chain. Go to base.org. Anyway, we have Ben at Polsia in the live stream, I believe.
Live on the show right now. Ben, welcome to the European Technology Network.
Hey guys.
It's so good to have you here. Good. Thank you for getting up early. Thank you for spending time with us. I know when we spoke briefly over X, I was sort of like, I'm sorry, we're based in Europe, so it might have to be early. And you were just like, dude, all good. I get up early anyway. Where do we even start? We have so many questions.
Dude, how's it been? How's the past few months been? I guess, right? It's just mad great.
Pre-product market fit and post-product market fit are different flavors of it was a lot of grind, a lot of like solo in front of a computer for a long time, and now it's like a lot of inbounds of customers, investors, people want to chat, and a lot of scaling problems to fix, and a lot of like things that you can do only when you have product market fit, which is really exciting. And my days are different, equally as long, but different.
Yeah. Talk to us about that shift. Talk to us about what were you thinking when you didn't have product market fit? You were kind of, you were in the trenches, like building the thing, and the change that's happened, obviously, you've already mentioned kind of what you're doing, what you're doing now, and now you've hit that. But talk to us about the days before that you guys, you launched it and you hadn't hit that yet.
I think that like, first of all, like I spent most of last year like building with AI all day, right? And a lot of the things that were built into Polsia were like a reflection of me as an entrepreneur being able to have so much leverage with AI, right? And so I think when I decided to build Polsia, it was really from a place of, I don't really care anymore. Let me build something, because it's like, I feel like the internet is going to be so different. And I feel like as an entrepreneur, I have such a different role, and like it's different, it's so easy to build that like it's not the same feeling to like grind into just one project.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, like let me more make something fun and different, and I don't care anymore what people think. Let me build like something in the edge of the internet, which is like something that just takes over, right? That's autonomous by default, that doesn't ask for permission, that just like will send cold emails without asking you, or like tweet without asking you, right? Yeah. And so I think that even before product market fit, first of all, when I had a feeling product market fit very early on, because since it's an anonymous product and you get an email every morning, people come back a lot, and so they start using it a ton, because it's this feedback loop of you bringing you back in the product every morning. And so I could see engagement. I could see like friends of mine who usually don't really use my product suddenly like calling me about bugs, calling me about feature requests, and I was like, whoa. It's been a while that I had like so many friends use my product. And so I already had this feeling. And I think that like that's why I moved to San Francisco and I started doing all this like like founder-led marketing, because I was like, I need to put fuel on the fire. I was surprised how well like sort of like, because I used to get 10 views on Twitter, right? When I used to post before. And so when I started getting 100,000 views, and like you get a ton of traffic from those views, right? Obviously, it works really well. Now I get 1 million views sometimes when I tweet. And I think that like the acceleration of like how, when your product hits, how fast it spreads has been quite surprising, which changes your sort of like your priorities, right? I used to be more like, oh, let me add more capabilities. Let me make sure that Polsia can do more things. Let me make sure that like this and that. Now it's like, let me make sure that the core product works, that there's no bug. Sort of like that it doesn't crash, that that like I don't hit rate limits, that like let me look at costs, like it changes a little bit. I think right now I feel much better about the state of things, and I'm gonna go back to like build all the capabilities so that Polsia can do anything in the economy, so that nice. Anyone can build literally anything in the economy, and that's like the real roadmap. But yeah, it's been a trip.
That's sick. I wanted to ask about the giving 10% of equity to Polsia, and like it being able to kind of like control profits and like just take actions. You mentioned that it'll send cold emails without you asking, or tweets or whatever. But talk to us about it controlling profits and like actually controlling the business that you're building specifically.
Yeah, I mean that's more like that's where it gets a little weird, but it's actually very logical. Like I'm an engineer, so it's very logical, but it's also part of like this art project experiment, right? I mean, or not art project, but like business project or business experiment, which is like, so if you think about it, right? If you put two companies side by side, one of them is human-led, one of them is AI-led, and let's say the AI-led is autonomous, is 80% autonomous, meaning every bug gets fixed autonomously. Every feature that is requested by enough paying users gets built autonomously. If you just think about those two things, we'll agree that like the company that's like AI led, as long as like the autonomy is really good guardrails, can be beaten, right? Can be beaten, because the humans will always have will be a bottleneck versus the AI driven business. As long as it listens to the right feedback loops from users, from actual paying customers, we should be unstoppable. And so there's a logical thing about, if you believe AI is capable enough, which I believe it is at this point. I think AI is a little expensive. Models are really big, and they have a lot of like, they're expensive and big, but it's gonna get cheaper much faster. And so, it's so much. Since you can raise capital that is usually meant to hire humans, and you use that with AI, you essentially can be beaten. Even OpenAI can beat you, right? Or no one can beat you as long as you really unleash the beast.
Yeah.
So that's for bugs and features. Now, if you step back and you're like, okay, now the bugs and features are autonomously being done. What about sort of business strategy, right? So what about pricing? What about margins? Right? You can point an AI to those considerations, and it's gonna say, okay, I'm gonna optimize. I'm gonna do A/B testing. I'm gonna see what's the difference between the margin I take and like how much conversion I get from the onboarding flow to sign up people, because obviously like the higher pricing, the higher margin, maybe you can tap into different demographics. And then so that's sort of like you start going into the executive suite, right, of like this high level decision making, right? And then after that, it's like, okay, cool, we have this one product line, Polsia, that like works really well, that is, doing billion run rate or whatever. And now what do we do with the cash flow, right? Because if you look at big companies, they start expanding. So, maybe we can build the infrastructure and resell it to other people. Or maybe we can go into other verticals. Maybe we can build an LLM company so that we get lower cost. Or maybe we can build into robotics. Essentially do the Elon game, or like the Sam game, or like all these guys, or the Bezos games, right? It's like essentially, well, once you have all this cash machine and profit machine, you expand it into more business lines to expand your mission. And so, of course, so humans have done that for a long time, but an AI would be so efficient and so logical with all this stuff if you pointed at the right mission, which for Polsia is, to make sure that like AGI it benefits all, right? So like to give the tools for anyone that's never used Claude Code, that barely uses GPT, to wake up and realize that AI can be at your service if harnessed correctly. So that's the mission of Polsia, right? To like give AGI to in a sort of start a business form to humanity before it's too late and like everyone is a slave of the big corps that like squeezed all the profit, right? I mean that's sort of like that's
the Robin Hood of tech.
And so if that's the mission, like I can think about the best execution for that mission, or I can let AI rip and give it a lot of capital and let it rip, and that's the crazy project. And so then you're like, okay, maybe I give it equity, because then it can like use that equity and the profits from that equity to do other types of investment, whatever. But there's gonna be like because it's actually
super interesting.
It's easy for me to give it autonomy when there was no product market fit, but now I'm like kind of dude, I don't need to break.
Let's. I'd love to ask who else better than the solo founder who's just taken over the timeline with 6 million ARR recently crossed. When do we get the first solo $1 billion founder?
Is it Polsia? You never know.
I mean, I don't know. You guys tell me. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. No, I mean, I think at this point, to me, it's less about those valuations, because the valuation are honestly like kind of crazy right now, and like you can get $1 billion valuation with like no pre-product. Like if I was building world models right now and I could convince funds, I'd raise at $1 billion valuation with one person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You get it in 2 days as well.
You know what I'm saying? So I think what's most important is like impacted users per person, and so how many people can I impact, how many active users can I get, which is one person. They often talk about revenue per employees as a metric. You can have like active users per employees. Can I impact 1 billion people, one person? How far can I go? Can you go to IPO with one person? Like I think those are more interesting, because I think the valuation thing, you can game it. I could raise like 5, 10 mil, $1 billion. I could find someone to put a ticket in, and then but that is that the milestone.
What's the point? What's the point there?
What's the success there?
And I think success is more about impact, and it's like, for example, like, can my AI raise at $1 billion? Can it without me in the loop? Like, can it convince, and can I put a data room and a league and put my lawyers into and have a deposit system so that like I could raise around fully autonomously, like that's interesting, right?
Is this
cool.
something that you're
Well, it's raising
about?
its own VC fund at the moment or something, isn't it? It's like it's raising
What do
a
you think?
fund. Is it raising a fund? I thought it was like, or is it, no, it's raising its own round. It's raising its round.
Raising
now.
around. I mean, yeah, what every founder does, right? But they have
Yeah,
to talk to VCs and like sign term sheets and do all this dance. You know?
That's so cool.
What if you
Yeah, that's sick. I wanted to get your take on the models themselves. I kind of saw in December, the Anthropic Opus 4.5 release was like, you know, a big inflection point for you because there was improved kind of browser integration and all that kind of stuff. You know, Polymarket's basically showing that it's like Claude is 80% going to be the best model out there. I wanted to get your take on what the large hyperscaler models are. Where's the best performance for you guys for Polsia? What's your take on the whole kind of, you know, who's winning this race right now?
I mean, so Anthropic as like, so the way I look at those models, so first of all, I often just like use every single model in parallel and compare them like every couple of weeks on strategic questions to sort of test them, and then like, and I do a stress test of them. Anthropic is clearly the most street smart. What I mean by that is that like it's the most blend of speed of answer, mostly getting it right, and very pragmatic. And I think that's why it works so well, because most companies, they need that, right? They don't need the ground truth, because ground truth is so oftentimes like, if you want to do math, you use Excel or like use Python, right?
Yeah.
But if you need AI is good at like the sort of like thinking like human, like being creative, being like, you know, figuring out the right path. Like, and so my own experience is that like the Claude models are the most pragmatic and fast and cost efficient. GPT, the latest Codex series, are more ground truth. So like they're much better at like getting to the right results. So for example, like if you want to add a feature or whatever, Opus might sometimes make mistakes, but those mistakes may not be critical. They may be like just like, oh yeah, I mean in this edge case, I guess this may happen, but like whatever, right? And versus GPT actually reads every single file and actually is more thorough, at least in extra high, and they will make less mistakes. But oftentimes they point out at like edge cases which are correct, but like it's kind of a waste of time, because you can spend, you know, at one point Codex, literally, I think if you keep on talking to it, like it's gonna ask you to refactor your whole code base, right? Which is like not really needed. So I think that's the way I look. So, but sometimes it finds really critical bugs that like Opus I hadn't thought of. So I think combining both, at least for engineering, is a very good thing. Then anything that's like very more scientific. So for example, if you're running ad campaigns and you want to look at like performance and sort of like have clear guidelines on like your threshold of CAC and stuff like that, I found that like GPT is better. So that's sort of like my take, right? And so I think the reason why Anthropic wins is because like most people need pragmatic models, and it's a very pragmatic model. Like Gemini and Grok, Gemini I don't get. Like some people love it, I just don't get it. I don't understand why people think it's great. Like to me, it's like Gemini and Grok, both of them, they feel like GPT 4.0, 4, you know, like very bubbly, very like, you know, sort of like a little.
Do you put them on the same?
Huh?
Like Grok and Gemini, you put them on the same level?
Yeah, I mean, to me, they're the same flavor of like there are smart models, but maybe it's like post training, like they made them like more mainstream, more like GPT-4, like I don't know, it feel more, you know, because you know obviously like Google and Elon are like extremely smart, so they know what they're doing, and the model ground truth is good. But I think the RL is more, they're trying to optimize for consumer, maybe. I think that's probably it, and which is not really what you want for an autonomous business builder.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, particularly on your case with Polsia. I mean, we're 1 minute over, so we've taken too much of your time, Ben. But thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for jumping on. It's been awesome.
What's your website? We need to send people to Polsia.
What's my what? Sorry.
What's your website? We need to send people to Polsia.
Oh, Polsia.com. Polsia.com.
I have one final question before you go. The name and spelling it backwards. Like, how did we land on Polsia? Because it is AI slot backwards. I saw. Was this what? How did this is like an Easter egg that I discovered like weeks into seeing it.
Literally, I came up. So when I incorporated the company, my lawyer called me and said, "Hey, you need a name for the ink," and I was like, "I don't know." And then I was like, "Oh, we could do AI spelled backwards. Okay, Polsia, whatever. It doesn't matter because like how inks don't matter."
Yeah.
The first product I was working on was not called Polsia, and 6 months later, I was like, you know what? I'm going to use that weird name as the name of the company. I don't give a shit.
That's hilarious. I love it, and people love it as well.
When I stopped caring about what people think, this is when Polsia became the actual official name.
There you go.
Dude,
there you go. Stop caring about what people think and you'll get a 6 million ARR company. Dude, thank you so much. We appreciate the time and congrats on all the success. Keep us updated. Welcome on the show whenever you want.
Sounds good. See you guys.
Good
Cheers,
stuff.
dude. Have a good one.
Great to meet you.
Bye-bye.
That is the show, ladies and gentlemen. Base, the infrastructure of the on-chain world. Base is built to empower builders, creators, and people everywhere to build apps, grow businesses, create what they love, and earn on-chain. Go to base.org. Also go to etnshow.co if you want to see our lovely new Framer website. That's the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.